All right. We have bears. We have humans. We're going back to old Chicago. It's going to be good times.
Hey, living in Chicago, it's, there's not much here.
But there should be a lot more here. Like, the six of us who are still trying to play Iron Banner this morning will be there.
Oh, I told Respawn I need 8 more wins to gild the title, and he kind of wondered what I was doing.
Yeah, there's...
I knew what you were doing. My question was...
Why? Yeah. Because if I have a title, I have to gild it.
I don't think that's the case at all. Let me check my Palm Pilot.
Because it has to be done.
Carry
the prophecy foretells it.
Divide by 5. Yeah, no, it doesn't say anything about having to gild the title.
But think of the children.
I am thinking of all the children that don't have to gild their titles.
Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast. Dedicated in bringing you all the latest information, news, and opinions. This is the best show for new and veteran Guardians alike, where we share tips, tricks, and tools to help you succeed and enjoy playing even more. So with all that said, let me hand you over to your hosts, the Triumph Hunting Titan Nitedemon, the pink-panted pansy Peroty, and your Hunter Master Ranger, Mr. No One Respawns in Real Life!
All right, we are without our ring leader this week, so we're going to have to lead our own rings, herd our own cats.
Mm-hmm.
And for that exact purpose, I'm Peroty. Over there is Respawn, who's playing chess. And we have the man with 10,000 cats and 10,000 R's in his name.
Renard Calant.
Exactly.
That's not enough R's. It's Renard Calant, I believe, right? That's
Yes.
about cover all the R's?
We'll go that way.
Okay, cool.
Seems about right.
Yeah.
So yeah, Demon had some things to deal with this week, and he's dealing with them. Maybe they're chess related, maybe they're not. We'll find out next week.
Or maybe not.
Yeah. There's no way to know. But he's gone. We're here. And things have happened. Things are going to happen. Chess has happened. Iron Banner has happened. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Iron Banner was up this week. We've introduced ourselves. Now you know who we are, why we're here. And we're about 27% less British this week. So, Renard, welcome.
Yep. For those that haven't played with you, what class do you main? Because that's always the question we need to know.
I'm a Warlock, 100%.
Oh, we got the full spectrum today. Look at that.
There we go. One of each.
Mm-hmm. And why have you experienced brain damage and have decided to play a Warlock? Were you dropped on your head as a child? Chemical spill? Are you a superhero and we don't know it?
Space magic, man. They sold me on space magic. I'm a space
literal
wizard.
Space magic. Gotcha.
I'm a space wizard.
Fair enough.
Too many books, too much space magic. Running, jumping, throwing Nova bombs at people. Watching them go off into the distance saying, come back, come back.
Are you a PvP main, PvE main?
PvE. I am terrible at PvP, even though I'm currently trying to gild my Iron Lord. I only go in PvP if I have to.
That's a good man. I like the way you think.
So basically, much like the cat, we'll take the shiny object of a title gilding and sort of just like dangle it in front of you, and then we can lure you into PvP that way.
Yeah. Although I have to
keep this in mind.
I am working on dredging. I need to get 2 more Guardian kills in Super to get it, and that has been my white whale.
Oh, Nova Bomb, my friend. Nova Bomb is your friend. That's how I eventually did it many seasons ago. Just jump in and say, you'll be here somewhere. There's a Nova Bomb. It's coming for you.
I might have to do that.
Yeah, the one that chases everybody around. You'll catch somebody unaware, or get your way. Get yourself to them close enough to just let the Nova Bomb do its thing.
And just to verify, I just now completed the chest having only 4 pieces, and I've got the Taken Shader now.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. So watch the Cheese Forever video, and get your Taken Shader, an exotic ship. You get quite a few things. You get materials. I mean, it throws some stuff at you.
Yeah, 25 strange coins was very generous, I thought.
Mm-hmm. So, the TWAB is still being called the TWID on their stuff, because I looked this morning and it was once again called the TWID instead of the TWAB, and I'm a little hurt by that, Peroty. I'm not gonna lie.
Indeed,
What-
and they keep shoving it full of bright green things, which isn't Mountain Dew. They're like, here's a marathon updates. We've got closed alpha updates and more closed alpha updates that we don't care about because none of us are in the closed alpha. So
Yeah. No
take it on my
code.
feed, move it away.
Accurate. So, I don't really know what's happened this week. And that being said, big surprise, right? But is there anything that's come out that you're excited about, Peroty? Besides chess? Because we all know you've been waiting on chess.
But yeah, absolutely been waiting on chess. I sat down and watched just a series of videos this morning going, I don't know why chess. I don't understand chess. Something, the 9 and the Drifter. So I basically sat down and watched Bife's hour-long video sort of explaining the whole chess thing that we'll throw in the show notes if you haven't seen it already. The sort of hurts. He's like, my brain hurts from having doing this puzzle because this was a similar ARG puzzle to what's the stupid thing called, the time puzzle we did where we found our guardian through the maze of time and whatever, and you had to run it through 1 trillion times to get different puzzles.
Okay.
My brain has stopped working this week. But yeah, it was a similar thing like that where a bunch of people went and did something with the chessboard, and then they got a different version of that chessboard, and then sent it to Raid Secrets or whoever that was sort of compiling these thousands and thousands of different permutations of chessboards to finally get the one true chessboard that the rest of us can just go, look, here's a video. Now I know what to do. You've done it all for me. Thank you very much.
Actually, yes. Thank you. And actually, thank you, Bungie, for allowing us to do this really big, complicated puzzle with only 4 pieces instead of collecting all 60. Now, if you want the triumph, you still have to physically go out and collect all 60. But if you don't care about the triumph, then don't do that and just get the materials. And there you go.
The thing I was very curious about from this week was the 4-second trailer that they released
Or
for Edge of Fate. It looked like the emissary rising towards something. So, but it was focused on like I saw a Reddit post that with the witness it was all about hands, and with this it was all about, honestly, it was a feet video.
Bungie's got to pivot somewhere to get those viewership back.
right?
Do what
I
you
wasn't
gotta
going to make a joke, but yes.
It's not a joke. It just is what it is.
So did you glean anything from that trailer? Do you have a 2nd-by-2nd breakdown, Nitedemon style, to tell us every little bit of what you saw?
I'm not Bife. It looked like it looked like the emissary was rising towards something, and there was one of those ships that we saw in the concept art, the long sort of ovular ships, in the background. So it certainly wasn't taking place anywhere we've been before. But other than that, I'm kind of intrigued to learn more. The concept art for this has really got me interested.
Yeah, I'm curious to go visit the 9 again because it's been a minute since the 9 were up to anything, and I still feel like I know nothing about them other than they ran the Reckoning for a while, and Xur shows up every week to sell us things we bought 6 years ago. I'm kind of curious what they've been up to since.
What I'm wondering is, does the size, since they're related to the planets, does the size of the planet relate to how much power they have? So is like the Jupiter, the 9 that's related to Jupiter, is he the big guy in the whole thing, or is like Mercury the one that's pulling all the shots?
Secretly Pluto.
Pluto's not a planet anymore, unfortunately.
Which is why it has the perfect time to work in the darkness and no one would see it coming.
Facts. I still hate. Hate is a strong word for that. It's not fair what they did to Pluto. Pluto never hurt nobody. They're like, oh well, it's Moon and it are wobbling each other, but to some degree, everything's wobbling something else. That's not really a fair comparison. Hell, Earth wobbles the sun. Does that mean Earth isn't a planet? What? Come on,
Mhm.
come on.
Earth isn't a planet. It's just a rock. Just a big blue rock.
Third rock from the sun.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm just excited to see where this goes and to learn something about the 9. maybe in the course of not a series of cutscenes or text lines that I need to read throughout the season.
I want to fight somebody from the 9. Let me fight Zer, or let me fight one of those emissaries. Let me fight somebody from the 9. They can be a mini boss. They can be a raid boss. I don't care. I want to fight somebody from the 9. I want to see what they look like. I want to see what they do. I want to see what their powers are. I want to fight a 9.
Maybe we get a race of Zers, and then they've got superpowers with the squiggles on their face.
I don't think they're going to look like Zer, only because Zer himself says that he's merely a servant. And the one person that we have seen from the 9 looks very humanoid, but bald and kind of awoken looking like, right?
Right.
So I don't think Zer is a member of the 9. I think he just is a servant of the 9.
Just the guy that gave the cool horse to.
I mean, he does have a unicorn, so there's that.
Well, the other big thing that's coming up is this Rites of the 9. So I'm interested to see what that will be about. Once
The
it's
PvP thing?
no, the PvE,
The dungeon thing.
the dungeon. Now that it's fully baked, it'll be interesting to see what it's all about.
I'd say mostly baked at best, but yeah.
It is.
I'm a little disappointed I didn't get in early to get one of those, not unfinished weapons, because that's what I want to run around with.
They're going to go away, though. Remember, they're removing them from the game.
Right? Yeah, I know, but like I kind of wish that would be, throw those into the loophole, do some event with Red of the 9, for a week or something, and have those be like the shinies we were hunting. Give me like the unfinished, weapon polygon design, like. I've played this game for a decade. I've gotten all the weapons with all the pretty things on it. Or just give me an ornament. Release some ornaments for things that look like, the unfinished early renderings of them. I think that'd be hilarious.
So you're for the Lego looking weapons, the big blocks.
Exactly. Like I've got all these other ones. I've got years and years of weapons that all basically look the same. Give me something ridiculous. Give me a giant, Minecraft-esque looking gun I can run around with. Something that's just, unshaded, unfinished, hard edges. Let me run around with that. And have people go, what is he killing me with? The stupid gun he got from Red of the 9, obviously.
It'll be for silver, though.
Oh, 100%. It will. Gotta keep
And
the
you would
servers
pay
on
for it.
Mm-hmm.
Just to have a nondescript Crayola looking gun.
Yep. It's not to love. Yeah. I'm curious to see if this gets, dungeons being more or less accessible. Either people going and going, I don't know where I'm going, and I have no one to show me, and I don't want to sit here and play with a YouTube video up next to me. Having a version that goes in and sort of gives you some guidance versus Bungie's typical, hey, we're going to drop you in this giant room. Good luck figuring anything out.
Well, isn't that what's going on with the easy mode, where it actually teaches you the mechanics without needing a Sherpa?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Like I like that they finally now, how many years after these dungeons have come out, given you a mode to say you can just go figure this out. There's also the I want to run this hardcore and make this all harder for me. But yeah, just getting into a dungeon and just figuring out, or if you're like, hey, I do want to do some solo runs of this, let me do an easier version to just sort of learn my way through, learn where I'm going, learn the pitfalls, and then let me go do it on my own time.
Well, I am old. I'm 49, so I don't have the reflexes of a young player. And I finally soloed my first dungeon this year, Shattered Throne, and I've been Texas. Spire is my favorite dungeon by far, and I really want to learn how to solo it. And this is something that I've actually been waiting for because. Because of the easier mode, I can go in, I can work on strategies, I can go through it, and then, sort of build my confidence up, and then, actually take it on at, the regular difficulty level. So this is great for somebody like me who isn't necessarily the best PvE player, but wants to solo some endgame content. Actually my kid, Peroty, you'll like it. He mains Titan. He was the one that really pushed me to solo a dungeon, and I really want to do Spire. I love the lore of Spire. I love the aesthetic, and so I'm looking forward to doing it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think doing it as a warlock. I mean, I think doing a warlock will be fun, and maybe a little easier again, depending how you run it. But I think like there's just no, there's no, it seems silly to say, but like there's no better time to do some of the stuff with the kit we have and with the abilities we have of just putting this stuff together. But yeah, and like that, the missing piece has always kind of felt like, well, how can I go in and learn this stuff? If I haven't run this, dungeon 100 times, do I know where every boss spawns and every sniper is and every hole to avoid? Like just not having any like real difficulty setting or option to say, let me figure this out.
Well,
feels like it's been missing for a long time.
Respawn's gonna love this because I actually didn't solo Shattered Throne as a warlock. I had to go in as an arc staff, a hunter.
Well, there we go. Whatever works.
I mean, I don't love it. It just fits because hunters are the best. I'm sorry. It's not that I'm gonna love it or I'm gonna hate it. It just is, brother. And when you people stop fighting it and just learn to accept the hunter supremacy, everybody will be much happier.
I made sure all of my drip was all black. I used super black for my drip, so to really complete the whole
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, there's no other option. What was it about the Arc Hunter? Like, why did you choose the Arc Hunter over over something else to go in with?
What's the super where you can impale the staff in something?
Mm-hmm.
I basically used that to just at the end impale the knights right in their face, and that
the Gathering Storm where you
and then I just gallied duel to death.
Nice. Yeah, the super says, I'm going to hide over here. I'm going to throw this at you. You go deal with this lovely lightning. That's awesome. Yeah, I'm always. I mean, I'm with you in the reflexes department, but have no real desire to solo a dungeon. But I am always curious. People who aren't sitting here and going, I sold my 10th dungeon this week, or just I'm curious to see what people chose and why what do they. What do they find good about it or bad about it, or yeah, you're gonna say I'm sitting down to do this. I have a kit of all 3 classes and prismatic and everything else. Just what do you turn to going, how can I do this and make this a little bit better on myself? So that's awesome.
Yeah,
I mean, my mentality is, why would you? But we've already discussed that today.
Because it's there to be done. Done enough times, you enjoy enough times. Yeah, I mean, I think Red of the Nine will be fun, and it's something, again, just another piece of the game that feels like it's been missing for a long time. Just having a way to learn some of the stuff without literally having to sit down with a Sherpa in real life or a Sherpa in video form, going, all right, go here, we're gonna go here, we're gonna do this. Here's how this interaction works. Because I don't understand how the day one people figure these interactions out. Going, I know what to do, and I'm still unclear on the why and the how of all this. Just the mechanics hurts my brain.
What floors my mind, honestly, in talking about that, like I absolutely like the day one races and things like that. The chess things, like I did the whole. I looked at a guide that told you, step by step where to place all the things. How they figured that out is like black magic to me. I just don't get it.
Really?
You just get. I've talked to some of those guys in the past, and it's like they're like, you just kind of learn how the games are built, right? And then once you know how the games are built, then they know kind of where to start looking for out of bounds strats or how to kind of manipulate the code and things like that. They start by intentionally looking. And then a lot of these guys have large communities who accidentally find these things and then tell them what they found and then go from there. So I mean, yeah.
I thought I was into Destiny. Some of these people, man.
Well, I mean, some of these people do it for a living, right? So whether they're in it, whether they're not, it's kind of irrelevant at that point because it's less, I'm really into Destiny, and more, I do this for a living and I need content, right? I need to give them something so people keep watching my channel, things like that, So I'm not saying they don't love it. Don't jump my bones. I'm not saying they don't love it. I'm just saying it's in my opinion, more tied to the fact that they need the content. They need to find things to teach these people, and they have big communities to help them do such.
Right.
IMO. But yeah. So that being the case, what have you, if anything, done this week, Peroty?
I've been mostly playing Iron Banner. Just I loaded up the Warlock, loaded up my Iron Banner build, and just said I need to finish Guilding this title. I needed a couple wins, and I can't remember if that was it or if I needed just a couple more games played just to grind through. And sat down this morning. Played Tuesday or Wednesday evening, and just I'm still of the opinion that the best matchmaking in this game currently is in the competitive playlist. Because I've played sort of an equal number of Fortress modes and Control modes in Iron Banner this week. And just the number of times I'm like, okay, there's 9 of us and a 3-stack. And it's a good 3-stack. They're like, 2-0, 3-0 KD at the end of these matches. Like, this is not like, oh, let's put them against a bunch of other good players. It's like, let's put them on a team and then just wipe the floor with everybody else. And I'm just like, how are we matchmaking these teams? Because I understand it's Iron Banner. It's just not that serious. But I don't understand what we're doing. We're just like matching 12 people together going, nah, that seems fine.
I mean, is it SBMM or is it CBMM?
Who knows? Because even no matter what the MM is, I feel like why is there a 3-stack in with a bunch of other randoms? Like, why is your 3-stack in with a bunch of other solos anyway?
If it's connection based, then they just go with whoever's got the better connection. But if it's skill based, then that begs the question: why are we going against a 3-stack this good, right? Sure, but if it has nothing to do with skill and it's only connection based, then you're gonna get whoever's got the best connection at the moment.
Yeah, I think if they're just honestly throwing dice or throwing dice or darts and saying, here's some people, we'll throw them together, it'll be fine. So I've had some really good Iron Banner matches and just some really just absolute, I've been on the winning end and losing end of blowouts both ways. It just depends on, hey, at the moment we feel like putting this together for you, enjoy. And it just doesn't feel like consistent. I've enjoyed it because it's Iron Banner and I'm having good fun in the matches for the most part. Just playing and working on the build and just getting more familiar with my guns. Just sort of trying to stick to a loadout and not mess around with it. That being said, I did get killed by the Jotun a couple times, and then I became what I fear.
Economy?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, so I grabbed the Jotun because I already had the Warlock set up for basically Specky into Kinetic and Solar anyway. So I just swapped to the Crafted Fire Fright and the Jotun and said, I'm just going to be that dirty scumbag and pick up all of the green ammo and hit people with the Jotuns. And that's worked out beautifully because I was getting at least one kill every single life because they peek and then they get toasted. And it's wonderful. So props to Donnie, Mr. Jotun over there. He's not wrong. Because there's so much green ammo. Like every time I spawned in, I had a shot, and then you pick up more ammo off people, or just the boxes are just everywhere. Like I know they were said, oh, we're gonna redo how we're doing the green ammo and make these changes. I mean, maybe at some point, but certainly not in Iron Banner because it's just everywhere.
So you may be doing it, but it's not done yet.
Mm-hmm. Isn't Firefright the Season of the Haunted auto rifle?
Yes.
What's good about it?
It's got one that I crafted 1,000 years ago that has, let's demo load, Adagio and Fragile Focus on it. So it's basically you get bonus range until your shield's destroyed with the Fragile Focus. And then you get, with the Adagio, after defeating a target, the weapon fires, charges, and draws more quickly, deals increased damage over time. So it's basically, hits harder, does a little bit more damage. It's got, the one I have has stability masterwork. So it's just, it's got good range. It's got, the one I have has 72 range, 58 stability, 43 handling, 46 reload speed. It's just sort of an all-around good gun and just feels like, feels like it kills quicker. It's basically something I crafted, I don't know how many seasons ago, because I'm gonna say Destiny Fun Police probably put out a video, was like, hey, craft this, do this, you'll enjoy it and have good success with it. And so I've been pairing that with the Jorum's Claw pulse rifle that I got in Iron Banner again many seasons ago. It doesn't have all the new stuff on it, and that's what I normally run it with. So I've got it sort of set up for kinetic. All my mods are like kinetic and solar stuff. So that's what I've been running with. It's just sort of a loadout I put together. I don't know, put together or saw in a video. I couldn't even tell you because I've just been running it for a long time now, and just had good success with it, and just never really changed it. I'm sure there was a video out there somewhere that was like, hey, pair these two things together, they work nicely. Or I just finally got a good roll on the pulse rifle and the fragile focus and had good fun with it. Somebody recently put out a video on the fragile focus. It was more a gameplay video and not really a like why this is a good video, but I'll see if I can dig up the old one or dig that one up and if they go into the why, but I think it's just sort of the perk combination with the crafting and the range on it. But yeah, I think I had fun with it anyway.
That's good. I actually had a little bit of success with the not this week because I haven't played this week, but last Iron Banner, and then the PvP that I have been doing to try to get some of these weapons that I wanted. I've been using the Claws of the Wolf, right, with Rampage and Headseeker, and that and Ricochet rounds, or I could choose between Ricochet and High Caliber, right? So that gun does most of my work for me. Like I am. People say that I'm decent at PvP that actually play with me. I don't think I am at all. But even at my skill level, that gun does a vast majority of my work. And then I usually pair that with something like the Rat King, right? So I can go invis, or the Unending Tempest that I have. Now, the rolls on this are nothing special. It's Adrenaline Junkie, Demolitionist, Accurized Rounds, and Full Bore, right? But my range on this is 94 for a submachine gun. And my stability is 39. And I am killing people at ranges that I don't think submachine guns should be killing people at. And these are definitely not PvE perks. I just got it because of the range, and it just does work. It does a lot of work, And then I'm rocking a build which gives me a lot of invisibility. And my exotic that I've actually been having a lot of luck with is the Knucklehead Radar. And people's like, oh, it got nerfed. It doesn't do the wall hacks or the extra damage anymore. I'm like, honestly, didn't even realize it was doing it while I used it. I'm using it for the whole I'm looking down sights and I don't lose my radar situation. And I mean, for me, it's been working. Yes, it's been nerfed, and yes, it doesn't do all the extra things that it was doing apparently, but I hadn't really used those anyway, and it's just keeping my radar up at all times. It's just giving me awareness that has been helping me out. So a little off meta, but it's working.
Yeah, at this point, I'm basically just like, I put this build together, and I've just been using it. And yeah, is it the best thing? It's the thing I use that I'm comfortable with, so that's what I've been rolling with.
I mean, that was the point I was getting at, is whatever makes you comfortable, because the two weapons that I use, most people wouldn't even consider for PvP, especially the Unending Tempest. It's got no PvP rolls on it at all. But because it feels good and it works well, I have been using it, and it's been doing its job. It's been working, So it is a matter of perspective of what's good for you specifically. I think it's a long way of saying what I just said.
No, I'm a big believer of that. Like when I find I like watching build videos, but I've got a couple really solid. Like I've got a solid arc build, a solid void build, a solid solar build, and I keep going back to those. Although this season, I will admit, my arc build completely got reworked. I can't believe I'm going to say a Queensbreaker bow has been has been just stuck in my heavy slot. I if you had told me this a year ago, I would never have believed you. But Yeah,
The single shot or the 3-round burst version?
I'll cycle between based on what I'm doing.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's very like if it's DPS, obviously single shot. But if I'm like trying to
Oh, you're
clear,
talking PvE. My bad.
yeah. Sorry, I code switched there. But no, you just find something that works and go with it. I will admit I cheated a little bit. My kid's a PvP main, and I had him get out my Iron Banner and Trials builds, and I don't understand them. I know how to use them, but I could never have built them myself.
Now, did you cheat
that's what
or
the
did you
children are
just
for.
utilize the resources at your disposal?
Yeah.
I
He
mean,
just has YouTube at home.
technically,
Yeah.
I handed him,
Right.
I handed him the controller. So isn't that against the terms of service?
Whoa! Cut that!
Wait, what?
Nothing. No, you just
He's
said.
he's playing on a console.
I know. I was joking, Peroty. God,
Yeah.
just can't joke with some people nowadays. Ugh. Anyway, no, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, go ahead. I mean, that's exactly what I did. It's just I got a build put together and just never took it off and said, "Yep, this works well enough for me. I understand how it works. I feel comfortable with these weapons." And yeah, that's sort of what Demon and I have talked about the last couple of weeks of just going, "Hey, find a build that works for you and just roll with it." Yeah, so stuff gets nerfed and boosted and messed around with, but all in all, I'm still getting killed by weapons that I haven't seen in 1,000 years because someone's got a good roll with it and they got good with it, and now that's their go-to weapon forever and ever. Amen.
But the thing about that is, like, I use the build videos because I don't know what not perks.
Mods.
I mean, also kind of perks, but mainly mods. What mods work in PvP, and also what fragments and shards work in PvP, right? Because you're like, oh, well, if I kill a person, I'm going to get an orb. Except you don't in PvP. Things like that, things that I would not have known if I didn't look it up. Because like I've taken PvE builds in and just done horrible because I'm expecting my build to do a thing and it doesn't work because those mods don't work in PvP. So I look at videos to find out what are the PvP mods to use and what are the PvP shards and fragments, but beyond that, just whatever weapons work for you or to help proc the things in your build you're trying to proc. I know I have Warmind boots. I know I do. Peroty, where's my Warmind boots?
Demon deleted them.
Son of a mother biscuit.
He said you don't need those boots. The Warmind cells haven't been a thing in 1,000 years, so you don't need the boots.
It doesn't
anymore.
matter. I love the design of the boots, man.
Nope, deleted. Can't be done. Can't use it.
Impossible.
So I suppose we at some point should mention that there's a TWAB this week. The Respawn did mention there was a TWAB.
I did.
And was there anything in the TWAB worth talking about? Did anything happen? We've talked chests.
It's a TWAB. Everything's worth it, right? They're talking about the puzzle,
That's
how
right
it was a
here.
community puzzle and it was solved. They talk about the heavy metal tournament emblem, which is that is a dragon. Oh my god, it is a dragon. I mean, it's got the dragon symbol, but the other thing is like a tank and a mech, right?
I
So
told you before the show it was a dragon.
yeah, but like only the symbol is, the decoration is tanks and mechs, and they're mixing things. That's not fun.
I mean, it's coming from the tank and mech game, so
I know, but then why put a dragon on it? And through all you out there, you're gonna be like, why not? And that, damn it,
exactly. Because why not? Because if dragon, why not dragon?
Yeah, I mean that's fair, but at the same time, can I get one dragon emblem that's not tied to PV freaking P? My goodness,
Nope, because dragons play PvP. They're not PvE.
Lies, slander. Okay, I have not once seen a wish dragon in PvP. I've seen many wish dragons in PvE. I am a dragon that plays PvE. So your statement is false on about 13.75 million levels.
You're not looking at the right places.
Well, I think that's obvious at this point. But I need a dragon emblem that's not tied to PvP. And I don't mean the wish dragon, because the wish dragon, they call it a dragon. It's not really a dragon, except the one time it became a dragon because one of the guardians wished for it to be a dragon, so he can be a knight that slays a dragon, right? But other than that, they're not dragons. Can't convince me otherwise.
And that's how wishes work.
That yes, technically. But
Yeah.
so just
We got together and solved a puzzle. 6th of May is upon us. I mean, not upon us yet. It'll be almost upon us by the time you hear this.
But what is the
Update
6th of
8.
May? What I saw that earlier. What does that even mean?
You're
I
going
know
to have to have
7/7's a big deal, but what's 5/6?
you're going to have to have read the TWAB or paid attention in the last couple of weeks to know what's happening on the 6th of May. It might be that 3 new weapons are being added soon, and it could be a celebration of AAN HPI Heritage Month. But it could just be that, Bungie's going to tell us things on a certain date in May, coming up very soon.
Yeah, but it just says they're releasing 3 new guns. Is that the whole thing? Is the 3 guns?
See, there's this whole document that they publish every week that they give you details about the headlines they put at the very beginning.
I'm looking at it. It says, oh wait, is May 6th like in depth later on?
There's a big picture that's like just a
Respawn,
little below that.
You did say in the chat you read it during the.
Yeah.
Oh,
This
Edge of Fate.
This is that time for that reading to kick in.
Okay, yeah, that's a fair point. That's a fair point.
The big thing that we've talked about the last couple of weeks, which I know I can't hold you to understanding what we talked about the week before that. That they've been saying the 6th of May is when we're getting our Edge of Fate teaser and information and something knowledge
that's
about.
just the teaser. Ew, sad panda. Okay, yeah, I see it. It's a teaser about a teaser. I hate when they do that. It throws me off. It's like, oh wow, the game's coming out. No. That's when we're going to tease you about what's in the game. Why?
It was very clear. But have you guys enjoyed going from Destiny to Chestiny?
I'll be honest. I just did it to get the stuff. Like I wanted the stuff. I wanted the shader. The big thing I did this week, honestly, was I grew up in a very Catholic household, and getting the Heretic title really set my dad off because I sent a picture of it. I got the title this week, and I took a picture of it and sent him around the moon with that. So I focused on getting my Heretic title this week and just did the chess stuff to get the stuff.
That is the best reason I've heard to get that title. Well done, sir.
That title very specifically.
Oh, that's amazing. Oh, that's awesome.
You good, Peroty?
No.
I'm starting to pick up on that a little bit, dude.
It's true. That's why I got it.
I believe you, but Peroty's just kind of.
Now, are you going to have to gild that title? That's the thing. Can you become a gilded heretic?
That would be awesome.
Would he understand what a gilded heretic is? Probably not. I'm sure he doesn't know anything about the game, does he?
I'm a heretic 9 times over.
Way too much time and money on it.
Yeah, it checks out.
Fair enough.
So we also had another cinematic this week of about throwing rocks at windows, where the Drifter kind of talks about chess pieces and them appearing and disappearing and flying through space.
I'm not quite sure what that was all about. I just watched it when you and him were talking earlier, and I'm like, okay, he just keeps talking about like he wants to run away, and the further you get away from the moon, he doesn't have to see it, but the universe keeps forcing him back or some shenanigans. I'm like, bro, he's going through it right now, and I don't even know. I don't even understand what I'm supposed to be taking away from this, right? Do y'all understood what happened in the cutscene? I just watched it, and I still have no idea what happened.
I don't know either. Because like, is Eris dead? Is she alive just in her trunk?
She did die, but she has a throne world, which means she's not technically dead.
Right, so I kind of didn't get what Drifter was going on about, so it wasn't, yeah.
Any insights, Peroty?
No. I mean, I watched it and said, okay, well, I mean, it's clearly the chess pieces is sort of like a metaphor maybe something more literal about the nine and the movements of the Earth and planets and things, but I saw the chess things this week. It was just like, okay, well, clearly there's something 9 happening with the chessboard, and yeah, as we all know, I am not the lore guy. I need someone to explain it to me, and like I said, I watched other people explain it to me, and I'm going, I still don't quite understand, but yeah, something with the 9 and the chessboard symbolizing things, and I don't know, Drifter's up to something.
The chessboard has always symbolized things like, strategies and conquest and things like that. It's always been a strategic type of game, right? But like, I mean, what does that have to do with the 9? They're just strategizing? Okay, cool. Just say that they're strategizing or they're coming after Earth or whatever. The whole rocks, windows, moon, running away, but the universe keeps bringing me back nonsense. What the hell does that have to do with chess? Or I don't know. This thing's confusing to me. Vive! Help me!
Well, I mean, he did literally put out like a 56-minute video.
Yeah,
trying to
I need to go
explain
watch
all of
it.
this. Yeah, I watched it this morning again. There's just a lot there, and his head partially hurts. I mean, I think that's partially from trying to do all the puzzle solving and the 20 million versions of chessboards that people needed to submit and put together to build out the big master chessboard that we're now looking at the video going, oh, cool, put things in this order? Great, that's what I needed to do.
Right.
Which
But I
has to be
wonder
a little
if by us skipping it the way that we are, if we're perhaps skipping out on lore or other informational bits that if we had gotten it wrong or done it a different way would have given us, right? Because there's more than one way to win a game. You know what I mean? So is there a different combination of chess pieces that give us different lore? Or this is just it, this is the only thing, you just have to win and you get this lore, full stop?
That seems to basically be it. I mean, I know there were a bunch of different, like if you put in, like spelled out different things in different places. There's like some, Bungie Easter eggs from older games and older things and memes in the Bungie community that I don't remember or understand or knew what he was referring to. But if you're neck deep in the lore stuff, there's some other messages that he goes over you could put in and get, but none of it's like terribly exciting or like world changing. Just just like on the organ, you could play different songs to unlock different things or whatever. But it's a little Easter egg sprinkled in, but nothing like that's going to change your appreciation or understanding or the game much at all. It seems like. Well, maybe they hid some more stuff in there. I am not nearly a mad enough max or a patient enough person to sit down and try to do 50 trillion.
Did you say a mad
iterations of
enough
chessboards.
max?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a new way to use that. I like it.
I stole from somebody on TikTok. Said, I'm not a mad enough max to do this. I'm like,
why do you always do that? Like, I give you credit for things. Like, what was the other thing you said?
Because I am 100%
prepare to
not
get
original.
beaten until the morale improves or whatever. That phrase that I love. What was that?
The beatings will continue until morale improves.
That, yes.
Yeah, because I am but a vessel, sir, of other things I have heard or listened to or stolen from people, some of which I can attribute and some of which I just picked up from the ether. I'm not original. I'm just a copy of a copy of a copy.
Okay. But it's good. I like that. It's a good phrase. But that aside, how close are you to doing the chess? Have you even attempted it yet?
Oh no, I haven't even touched the chess thing yet. I have 40 something chess pieces, which I just was roaming around the Nether. Talked to the Drifter, got his 5, roamed around the Nether, got a bunch that way, but haven't sat down to say, let me try to get all these other chess pieces. Got a bunch from the Sunless Cell Nightfall when it was up as like the Nightfall, and just ran that a bunch of times. Got a handful of chess pieces from that. I don't know if I have all of them or not, but
we don't need all of them. Wait, are you trying to get the title?
I don't know what I'm trying to do, honestly. I'm just going, they're there. I'll pick things up. It basically gets to the point where I'm going, I'm not trying to do this. And then just sort of through playing, I go, well, I'm really close. I've got, I need 7 more of these or something stupid. And then go, do I want to take the time and effort to get the rest of these? Or do I just want to give up and go, I don't care.
So
we'll see
I
what
think
I get
the only
to.
way to do them is to get a title that I don't think you care about because you'll never wear it. And that being the case,
you don't actually need it for Heretic. You can. I got Heretic before I got all the chess pieces.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
So there's really no point, especially if you can just go to Eris's apartment, collect 4, and then you get the Taken Shader and all the stuff.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sitting at 43 of 60 so I'm fairly close to it. But yeah, I'm not going to kill myself to find the rest of them because I
So-
saw it was like, yeah, you can go do all these, go do these things on the chessboard, and you'll lose out on a bunch of armor and weapons and whatever. I'm going, I'm doing a spring cleaning sale of my vault. I don't need a bunch of extra armor weapons. So yeah, if I can get the Taken Shader, great. Like I don't need you to drop me a bunch of other stuff at 2020. I'm just going to delete anyway.
Actually, I will admit, when I was doing the thing to get the Taken Shader, like 2/3 of the way through, because it drops you armor and gear, as you said, it dropped me an Adept Mirror Imago that was really, really good.
Nice.
So
Is that the fusion?
no,
Mirror
that's
Imago.
the
SMG.
submachine gun.
Oh, that yeah.
Yeah, it was Light.gg really quite liked it. So you can get really good stuff out of it.
Nice.
And honestly, getting the chess pieces isn't that hard. Like, I guess this would technically be videos I watched this week, but 360 Gaming TV has really good guides for it.
Wait, you said you got a shiny adept?
I got a shiny adept. Yep.
I don't believe you.
I will drop it in the chat.
Those things don't exist.
I mean, not for you, because you clearly have done something wrong, and now the world
I do
is
everything.
holding a grudge against you.
Story of my life. Yeah, I want to see it. What chat are you dropping it in?
I'll drop general chat.
General chat. Okay. Hatchling with target lock or recycled energy and subsistence.
I like it.
I mean, yeah. You could go with the hatchling subsistence, I guess. Target lock has been unnerfed, so that's a good thing to have too, I guess. Appended mag? What's that? Could be 40 rounds? Okay.
More
Inflated
bullets are
barrel?
always good.
It's a 52 range. What's my specific god roll have? Mine's 57 range, this is 52. Mine's 61 stability, gives us 51 stability. And I have target lock overflow, and you have hatchling subsistence. Well, I guess for ad clear,
Yeah.
I guess that'd be a really good ad clear one. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's
for sure.
all that a submachine gun is good for, anyway.
I mean,
And
yes,
taunting people.
but if it also does other things like, I don't know, doing lots of damage to the bosses, that's great. Because I do believe this is one of the ones where you can add the poison mod to it, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Let me pull it out of my vault. I have not used the fragile things at all this season.
Right,
I know.
right. Yeah, you can add the poison to it. Yeah. So that being the case, you could take on some pretty beefy guys because when you shoot guys with the Mirror Imago, it also poisons them, right? It becomes basically a weapon of dread at that point. You know what I'm saying?
What on that gun allows you to do that? And I'm asking because I don't
the
even think I
power
have one
of
to look.
ambition, the power of ambition mod. Rapid hits with this weapon grants
that's right.
bite rounds, dealing damage over time to targets hit by this weapon. So poison.
Okay, the bite round stuff. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I just socketed that. I'm gonna take that out and try that. See how that works.
Yeah, and the only reason I mean, you have a good roll, right? But the reason I went after the very, very specific roll that I have is specifically to get that really large magazine capacity, so that when I'm hitting them with the blight rounds, they just stay poisoned. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think my maximum magazine capacity is what 74 rounds in this gun with target lock. I mean, target lock plus poison equals shenanigans, you know? But mine's also not an adept, nor is it a shiny adept either. It's just the standard Mirror Imago that I got with a good roll that I've been hanging on to. I don't have any good adept ones at all.
This is the first good adept I've gotten.
Yeah.
Most of them have been trash. I mean, they've all been trash except for this one.
Actually, I don't have any adept Mirror Imagos in general. I don't have a single adept one.
I feel like I've barely seen that weapon. Now, granted, I haven't been like doing the Tome of Want for the SMG either, but
Oh, I did nothing but the Tome of Want for the first 2 episodes since it came out, man. And I still never got an adept version of that. Whatever.
that's reason enough to do the chessboard then. Get yourself
Well,
a good chance of weapons, unless you respawn, in which case, no.
Well, I mean, I
Apparently.
did the chessboard. I've already finished the chessboard. I think you were talking about the chess pieces. Picking up the chess pieces gave you the Mirror Imago? Yes, no?
No. Filling
Oh,
out doing the chessboard to get the taken shader. Dropped it.
Really?
I got it when I got one of the when I triggered one of the en passant steps. It dropped it.
So, en passant? What does that mean?
That's the triumph for one of the chess pieces triumphs for doing all the.
Oh, so you got it from a triumph completion.
Yeah, I got it from a triumph completion, which you can only get doing the chessboard. Oh, this thing is really nice with the Taken Blight.
Right?
Yes.
But only until these episodes are over, and then all these what do they call them? Something
Fragile.
fragments.
Fragile mods.
Fragile mods. Yeah, fragile mods go away. Yeah, and then
Just have
it'll
another
just
SMG.
get deleted.
On the 6th of May at 9 a.m. Pacific time, we're going to have the Edge of Fate reveal event. And they're going to tell us things. They're going to reveal just the edge. Just the edge of the fate. Not all the fate. Just a little bit. Just the edge of it.
Just the tip.
With the feet.
They're going to cover many changes coming to Destiny 2 this summer. New expansion, campaign, major changes coming to many core and structural systems throughout the game. Some of the new rewards we'll be earning. So let's repeat it one last time. Join us May 6th, 9 a.m. Pacific time, as we reveal not only the next expansion for Destiny 2, but also the beginning of the new year of content. And if you tune into the stream for 15 minutes with your Bungie account linked to your Twitch account, you will receive the Theozenia emblem.
I have no idea how to say that.
Yeah. You'll receive Theo the emblem. It's green and gold, and it's another emblem. If you need another emblem for your collection, or you're saying I have to collect them all, just open Twitch for 15 minutes and you'll get it and you'll enjoy it. And then you'll know what's happening. So yeah, Tuesday afternoon or early morning, depending where you are in the world, we'll know more things about Destiny. Or if you don't see it, you won't get the emblem, and you can watch it later because they'll put it all up later if you're working or can't do it when it's live.
Yep, and Peroty, your heavy metal is coming. It looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Am I reading that right?
Tournament. Yeah.
Are you going to participate?
I mean, I probably won't because it's not for me.
I
don't know.
kind of took the wind out of my sails.
Well, I mean, Briggs and tanks go boom, so I'm into that. They're pitting 8 content creator teams against each other in a high octane tournament during Heavy
it's
Metal
content
Week.
creator. You're a content creator. Join.
I don't have a team. No
You're
one
a
invited
team
me.
of one.
No one loves me enough. We don't know who's going to advance to their semifinals and finals. Here's the full schedule. Basically runs May 9th, 10th, and 11th. So there's teams, there's games. They've got the teams just laid out by, to save night team and reading. North America faces the EMEA team, 8 to 10. I'm not reading all these times out. If you're interested, you'll follow the creators. It doesn't say who's on which team, but there's a North American team, APAC team, EMEA team, which is my brain is not working this morning. You know what these abbreviations for? There's different people around the world. There's a bunch of teams. They're going to play heavy metal.
I don't know what those mean. What I've never seen that before. EMAC?
APAC is Asian Pacific and
okay, I got you.
Yeah, like one's like Asian Pacific and something. And EMEA is like Eastern. You're gonna make me look this up because
No, you don't have to. I didn't know it. I didn't know that was a thing. My bad.
Oh yeah.
I'm not trying to make
EMEA is Europe, Europe, the Middle East, and Africa, and APAC is Asian Pacific and something.
And something. I like and something.
Yeah, and Asian Pacific and Australia, New Zealand, and all those folks. So yeah, there's teams from those places. It doesn't say who's on any of those teams. You can watch over those 3 days. They're going to have emblems handed to those people who win. Good job for them. I figure if nothing else, if you don't know what the heavy metal is, that's Briggs versus Tanks, Tanks versus Briggs, how they work, how they handle, you can watch them and get a sense on how this is going to work out. Yeah.
And then you get a fancy dragon / Brig / tank emblem. Did you already say that?
They will, yeah. I mean, I didn't
Okay.
say all those words, but yeah, all of a sudden they'll win a fancy emblem for whoever wins.
Yeah.
This is your weekly rundown of episode Heresy, week 14, starting on May 6th. This Tuesday at 9 AM PDT, you can join the Destiny 2 team at Bungie, as they will be streaming the content reveal for the next year of Destiny 2, and the first expansion, The Edge of Fate. This week also sees the introduction of the new limited time event, Rite of the Nine, which is free to all players, with no dungeon keys required. Each week, one dungeon will be the featured dungeon for the week, rotating weekly with the Spire of the Watcher, Prophecy, and Ghost of the Deep. Rite of the Nine is available in 3 versions. Explorer mode for Guardians who are new to dungeons, with tooltips explaining mechanics, no darkness zones, 5-second revive timer, and waypointing. Eternity mode for more experienced Guardians, and Ultimatum mode for a tougher challenge, tougher enemies, tougher modifiers, and greater rewards. With a selection of 12 returning dungeon weapons with updated perks, a new 9 theme aesthetic, and even adept weapons for those who take on the hardest challenge. Weapon attuning is also available, similar to how the Brave Arsenal works in Onslaught. Weapons available are the Arc Precision Frame Auto Rifle Prosecutor, the Strand High Impact Frame Pulse Rifle Relentless, the Strand Adaptive Frame Hand Cannon Judgment, the Void Aggressive Frame Shotgun A Sudden Death, the Void Double Frame Grenade Launcher Wilder Flight, the Arc Aggressive Frame Scout Rifle Long Arm, the Stasis Heavy Burst Sidearm Liminal Vigil, the Arc High Impact Frame Machine Gun Terminus Horizon, the Stasis Wave Frame Grenade Launcher New Pacific Epitaph, the Solar Aggressive Frame Submachine Gun No Survivors, the Solar Rapid Fire Glaive Greasy Luck, and the Stasis Aggressive Frame Rocket Launcher Cold Comfort. All of these weapons come with the new origin trait called Gravity Well. When reloading, this weapon automatically gathers nearby ammo, which is exclusive to these weapons. Plus, arriving later this week on May 9th is the new PvP mode Heavy Metal, where teams of Guardians will battle it out in tanks versus Brigs. But that's not all, as when Heavy Metal arrives, so does a new way to play. Introducing Event Homes, which is the new replacement for event cards, where you'll find weekly and rotating daily challenges related to the event. Plus, these homes have their own reward tracks to unlock items as you complete challenges and play the event activities. Heavy Metal will also come with its own event rank track, with 15 ranks available to all players. Each rank has its own reward, like a weapon, an emblem, or enhancement materials. Another key aspect of the new event home is the event tokens. This is a new currency that's obtained upon completion of daily and weekly challenges, with the latter granting a more generous amount. The tokens you earn by playing during the event can be used in the reward shop to purchase any rewards during each event. Just don't sleep on the tokens, as they will go away when the event is over. The reward shop will have rewards like weapons and materials, and a new item called a reroll chip. This second type of currency can be used to reroll one of your daily challenges. You can either reroll a challenge you've already completed to get an additional daily challenge, or you can reroll to get a different challenge if the one available doesn't fit your playstyle. Reroll chips can be earned in the rank track, with additional ones available in the Eververse store for a small amount of silver. Event homes will replace the event card when a Destiny 2 seasonal event is live. Solstice, Festival of the Lost, The Dawning, Guardian Games, and any other event coming will have their own event homes, with no premium updates required. If Dungeons and Fighting Brigs aren't your thing and you've finished episode Heresy story, you have some time to catch up before the Edge of Fate begins, giving you some time to finish anything from episode Echoes, episode Revenant, as well as Heresy. Or you could complete your Nightfall Conquest seal, play some Gambit, or even go for Ascendant in competitive Crucible. Act 2 of episode Heresy brought with it the new activity, the Court of Blades. Set within the Dreadnought's Hole of Souls area, players are transported to different arenas across the system, from Io to Europa and on board a Hive warship. Court of Blades has 2 difficulty options, Normal and Expert, with adept versions of the Act 2 weapons only dropping in the Expert version. Also, the Grandmaster Nightfall note is available, giving Guardians the opportunity to complete their Conquest seal for this episode. With this note becoming available, this gives Guardians the chance to jump ahead and complete Act 3's Nightfalls, these being the Sunless Cell on the Dreadnought week 15, May 13th, and the Insight Terminus week 16, May 20th. Or conversely, you'll be able to complete Act 1 and Act 2's Grandmasters, which are now not available. Sark's Battlegrounds Moon, Lake of Shadows on the EDZ, Scarlet Keep on the Moon, Hypernet Current on Europa, Heist Battlegrounds Mars, and the Sark's Battlegrounds Cosmodrome. Act 1 of episode Heresy brought with it the new 3-player activity, the Nether. Set within the Dreadnought Patrol Zones, Guardians fight in random and varied encounters with different events and objectives every time. The Nether has 3 modes. The Nether Exploration for those solo types who want to just explore the Dreadnought, a match-made mode on baseline advanced difficulty, and a selectable non-match-made expert version. From Act 3 of episode Revenant, we have the new exotic mission Kel's Fall, where you can earn the new Void exotic shotgun Slayer's Fang, and new Prison of Elders challenge Kel's Vengeance, which can be found over in the Last City for 2 to 3 players. Act 2 of episode Revenant brought with it the Tomb of Elders, and Contest of Elders over in the Last City, which can be accessed after you complete the initial steps of Act 2. Also available for a weekly pinnacle is the Salvation Jade raid over in the Pale Heart, and new dungeon Sundered Doctrine, which can be found over on the Throne World, with the exotic linear fusion rifle Finality's Ager up for grabs, and a whole suite of new weapons and armour. Just make sure to visit Icor over in the tower to pick up the quest Drowning Labyrinth to enter. Over in the Last City we have Onslaught Salvation, which can be accessed after you complete the initial steps of the opening act of Revenant. This version of Onslaught brings with it new defences, 3 maps that are not in the Vanguard playlist version, and new enemies to fight. You can select from Widow's Court, Eventide Ruins and Kel's Grave, either normal or expert. Also, the original Onslaught has been updated to include some of the new additions. Located in the Vanguard playlist, the featured Onslaught map this week will be Midtown, with the Field Razor Tormentor kicking off the boss rotation. In the Last City on the Helm, the exotic mission Encore is still available, with 2 difficulty options, normal and expert. Also, from episode Echoes, we have the 3 new battleground activities, Delve, Conduit and Core, with Enigma Protocol and Breach Executable. The expert battlegrounds will start this week's rotation with Delve. The Dreaming City this week is at a strong curse level, which means Petrovenge can be found in Ria Silvia and has the Dark Monastery mission for the next week. The Blind World features Taken enemies and the Plague by Namina. The Ascendant Challenge will be Ouroboros over in the Affiliates Rest Lost sector. On the Moon, the weekly story mission is in the Deep. The Trove Guardian is located in the Hellmouth, while the Wandering Nightmare is the Nightmare of Zoltal in Sorrow's Harbour. Nightmare hunts Tanix, Isolation, Zydron, Servitude, and Ghoul, Rage. The Altars of Sorrow will start this week's rotation with the Nightmare of Fogoth and the Blasphemer Shotgun. On Europa this week, Praxisi Technocrat will be the Empire Hunt, Cadmus Ridge will be the Eclipse Zone, and the Exo Challenge will be Safeguard. Dares of Eternity expert difficulty rounds are Hive, Fallen, and Valister Arc. The Scatterhorn armor set and the Lightkin armor set will be available in Dares of Eternity with Weapon Set 3. Chroma Rush, Ignition Code, Grid Skipper, Farewell, Sonja's Tale, Shattered Cipher, Main Ingredient, Long Shadow, Last Dance, Toil and Trouble, Wishbringer, and Last Perdition. The Witch Queen weekly story mission is The Ritual, Altar of Reflection's Choice, and Altar of Reflection's Insight. The Wellspring activity will start the week on Defense, with the Arc Grenade Launcher Tarnation and Vazul Solar Scorn Chieftain as the boss. The Lightfall weekly mission is Desperate Measures, the Partition mission will be Hard Reset, and the Vex Incursion will be Liming Harbour. In the Pale Heart, the exotic mission Dual Destiny is still available for teams of 2 Guardians, where you can farm the mission to earn as many new prismatic exotic class items as you like. The Final Shakes cooperative focus campaign mission this week will be Ascent. The 12 Guardian Matchmade Excision mission is also available next to the race for a weekly pinnacle, with the Grandmaster version granting the Ergo Sum Catalyst and an Ascendant Shard. The Salvation Jade raid challenge this week is the first encounter Substranum called Scenic Route. The Root of Nightmares raid challenge this week is the third encounter Macrocosm called Cosmic Equilibrium. The Vow the Disciple challenge this week is the fourth encounter Rogue called Looping Catalyst. The Vault of Glass challenge this week is the fourth encounter Gatekeeper called Strangers in Time. The Deep Zone Crypt challenge this week is the first encounter Crypt Security called Red Rover. And the Last Wish challenge this week is the third encounter Morgoth called Forever Fight. Featured Pinnacle Raid 1 will be Kingsfall over in the Legends tab, and featured Pinnacle Raid 2 will be the Garden of Salvation over on the Moon, with all challenges available for all encounters. With the exotic Scout Rifle Touch of Malice being farmable from the final boss in Kingsfall, and the exotic Trace Rifle Divinity being acquired via completing the raid puzzles in Garden. Also, the Garden of Salvation weapons are now craftable, with the red borders being farmable for the week. Plus, you can grab a quest from Hawthorne in the tower for a guaranteed red border on a full completion. Featured Pinnacle Dungeon 1 will be the Shattered Throne over on the Dreaming City, and featured Pinnacle Dungeon 2 will be Duality over on the Derelict Leviathan on the Moon. The exotic mission rotator will be Starcross over in the Legends tab, with the Wishkeeper exotic bow being the main reward, and the Season the Wish weapon set. The exotic missions, the Whisper and Zero Hour, will also be available in the Legends tab. This week's challenges are Dread Reckoning, By Heart, Popping Off, Ethereal Might, and Darkest Nightfall. Lost Sectors, Tuesday Gilded Precept on Neptune, Wednesday Thriller Dome on Neptune, Thursday The Broken Deep in the Pale Heart, Friday The Blooming Deep in the Pale Heart, Saturday Bunker E15 on Europa, Sunday Perdition on Europa, and Monday Veil's Labyrinth on the Cosmodrome. The Grandmaster Nightfalls continue this week with our 14th featured Nightfall, which will see us face off against the Mad Warden in the Warden of Nothing over on the Dreaming City, with the Lotus Eater sidearm as the featured adept weapon. The 6v6 playlist will be Control. The 6v6 quick play mode should be the new game mode Heavy Metal, Showdown should be in the small teams quick play, and Hardware Mix could also be available, with Trials of Osiris at the weekend. This week should also see bonus Trials Reputation available all weekend long. And as a reminder, the annual Moments of Triumph continue, with a collection of 33 challenges celebrating everything you've been able to achieve in this past year. If you've been active, you'll likely already have some of these completed, which just gets you closer to the 26 you'll need to earn the 2024 seal and title. Still available is the Destiny 10th Anniversary in-game celebration event, And don't forget to keep an eye on Zer this Friday at Reset to see if he's offering another chance to grab a random rolled exotic class item for 41 strange coins. And that's it for the 14th week of the Final Shape episode Heresy.
Not for nothing, I am currently in a 2v4 Iron Banner match, and I'm on the 2 side.
Kind of sounds like it's for nothing.
Yeah, that was kind of my experience this morning. Like we weren't getting full teams. I played a bunch of 4v4s and a bunch of like 3v4s or 3v5s. So I don't know if it was just people leaving or just like it couldn't figure out enough people this morning.
This is
bad. It came out Tuesday, and today's Saturday.
Yeah, but
you think people are winding down because they've already done their gilding and they've got their god roll weapons, things like that?
I mean, it's also the weekend. Well, I think just the player population is just not that high, and I think honestly, splitting Iron Banner in two is not doing anybody any favors at this point. Granted, nobody wants to play Fortress or Control, apparently. But yeah,
nobody wants to play Control? Everybody plays Control and just ignores the objectives, I thought.
Well, I mean, both of those playlists have been hard to find games this morning. They've been longer load times and just, has it been super quick to get into matches? And yeah, many of the matches have not been full.
And what was the other one? Is that Control, but the other one?
Fortress, which is
what's
basically
Fortress?
Control, except then there's the middle zone with the 3 turrets that show up.
Oh, that one.
Okay.
So Control and also Control, basically.
Control with turrets.
Mm-hmm.
Turret Control.
It doesn't have the Gambit version, so Perry isn't interested.
Peroty is keeping up the Gambit population solo.
Someone's got to. I mean, they're going to give us a whole season about the Drifter or something. He's involved in some way. I want to know. I want to know why. I want to know more.
Yeah, Prime could come back next in Edge of Fate.
Bro, do not tease me with the Prime armor again.
Oh, he's going to.
I don't know, because it's gonna end in heartbreak again. You know.
Mm-hmm. Always. He's going to tease you. He's going to taunt you. It's going to be great.
I really did love the Prime armor, especially the abilities, especially the design. I mean, the Prime armor was just good in general, man. I can't find any fault with Prime armor at all.
This is the third
doesn't do anything anymore.
Yeah.
And
it doesn't even look good because you can't get those extreme glows, man. Like the bright red glows were beautiful, you know. But they're like, oh, it glows a little bit. No, it's not even a glow. It's more like an accent. It's not even a highlight, in my opinion, you know. But if they did bring back Prime and you could get that armor with the permanent glows, bro. And if they could bring back like abilities that work outside of Gambit too, because you know how we're supposed to be getting those armor abilities next season. There's the set bonuses,
set
bonuses. Yeah. Like, and then you give me one of those for Gambit Prime that I can take out into PvE, bro. I will live in Gambit for a while.
We can hope. We can wish. But what I can tell you is there's an 8.2.6 sandbox update or sandbox preview. They're going to change things because, of course, they are. In Crucible, they're going to touch the prismatic supers because the recent penalty to the super cooldown on prismatic field is a bit too strong. So they've partially walked it back. And they're taking the cooldown penalty from 10% to 5%. So it's better.
So they're making you get your supers faster or slower? I'm having a hard time tracking that.
Faster.
Okay. You get your supers faster. That's cool.
Yeah, reducing the cooldown penalty. So yeah, you'll get it 5% faster, give or take. Scatter grenade, it's been a bit of an outlier in PvP, so they're going to reduce the scatter grenade damage versus players by 15%.
The scatter grenade? The ones with the little bits that chase you?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, sir, scatter
grenade does no damage, dude.
It does some damage. Says the man who doesn't play any PvP. You don't know.
Well, because I used to use the hunter build where you would spam those, you know?
Well,
and that was a very valid build until they nerfed the damage into oblivion.
Well, you're missing out.
I guess so.
You've missed out. They're also nerfing hunters because on the prowl void aspect is too strong in PvP and needs some utility limitations to force more deliberate usage.
Raise your hand if you're surprised.
They're going to reduce your prey finding range from 45 meters to 25 meters and the hunt time from infinite to 15 seconds. You had an infinite? I don't know what the hunt time gives you.
The hunt, basically, somebody gets highlighted, and if you kill them, then you go invis, and it also creates like a little smoke cloud that if your teammates go through, they also become invis, right? And that person is just highlighted until you kill them. Full stop.
Oh,
And
okay.
now it looks like that person's only highlighted for 15 seconds. Now, I wonder if that means it's going to switch targets after 15 seconds, or you just don't get any highlighting anymore until, like, I guess you die or kill somebody or something. It's interesting to try to get what they mean by that, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I'm guessing it'll change to whatever you're doing to activate the hunt time thing. It
just happens.
just
You don't
change.
do anything to activate it. The game uses RNG to pick somebody to highlight that you kill, and it drops smoke. You don't do anything. You just exist, right? So, I mean, I'm wondering, like, if after 15 seconds it's going to swap targets. That would, I guess, make sense, right? Somebody else becomes highlighted, so the guy that you've been hunting this whole time, if you didn't kill him, you don't just get, like, to chase him around the whole time or whatever. You know, I guess that's fine. But if it just kind of goes away until you kill or be killed, that is dumb, I guess. I don't know. Like I said, you don't have to do anything to activate it. You just exist. The game does it. Game picks one for you, and that's just it.
Yeah. It doesn't say anything. I was just looking up the aspect to see if it marks a nearby combatant as a priority target for you and your team.
And
Okay, I didn't realize it marked for your team too. So I mean, it probably just marks the next nearby combatant. You know, if that combatant runs away and 15 seconds runs out, you've done something else to mark a new combatant.
Okay, I can live with that.
I'm assuming. Yeah, I mean, it's just interesting. It was an infinite time before going. Just do it forever, Monk. You're gonna die. It's PvP. Like who among us is gonna be alive for an infinite amount of time anyway?
Who among us is going to be alive for more than 15 seconds? Exactly.
Right. Yeah, it's just like we need to give it some limit. So, like, again, the top 0.001% is not just having it up the entire match, but the rest of us going, we're not alive for 5 seconds, let alone 15 seconds after somebody finds us.
Right.
Yeah. So, it's a change. Won't matter. The Warlock, the Lightning Surge arc aspect, can feel frustrating to play, both with and against, as it feels like damage against players can be highly variable. So they're going to clamp the variability of the Lightning Surge damage against players. So we're going to clamp. We're going to put a nice big clamp, and then we're going to slightly increase the minimum damage dealt and reduce the maximum damage dealt. Yeah, that's kind of what clamping means. We're going to take those ranges and reduce them. To what? I do not know, because they do not tell me. But they're going to make it feel a little more consistent. And
this is your Barricade Lightning Bolt?
No. This is the Lightning Surge arc aspect for the Warlock.
Oh, for the Warlock.
I would like the most of fix hit detection in PvP or anything. That would be great. If you could actually have things move the way you want them to move, as I posted the clip of using the crab claw, doing a 180 away from the thing running at me, going, no, you meant to go over here, right?
It wasn't a 180, but you did make a 45 degree turn. It was obvious you were looking at him. Like, I saw you looking at him.
Yeah, no,
and then your guy just turns 45 degrees and misses entirely.
Yeah, melee's away from the attacker. So if we could fix that would be nice. But we're probably not. We're going to fix some global things with the Hunter. Withering Blade, Stasis, and Prismatic Melee. It was underperforming in PvP and needed a PvE consistency bump. So they're increasing the strength by 20% and increasing the damage by 10%, which seems to be just across the board. So your Withering Blade will wither more blades better.
That's great. Too bad they're not going to give us back those frost stacks they took away from us forever ago. The Hunter, as of right now, it's still... The Hunter is the hardest class to freeze somebody with in PvP outside of your super. Or that grenade that chases you, right? Like, just our abilities. Because our Ninja Stars, if you hit a player with both of them, you should be able to freeze them, right? Now, even if you hit a player with both of them, you don't freeze them, and you have to add a third, maybe even an additional ability. Like, to freeze somebody, you have to dodge and hit them with both Chinese stars, and I still don't think that's enough stacks. I think you have to hit them with another ability. And when I say dodge, I mean dodge slow to get those stacks, then hit them with 2 Ninja Stars, and I still don't think that's enough to freeze them. I still think you need another ability on top of that to freeze somebody. It is so hard to freeze people with Hunters in PvP. It's ridiculous.
Getting frozen all morning in Iron Banner by Hunters.
Well, yeah, like I said, they have that grenade that can freeze you, right? If you go into the grenade bubble, yeah, that can freeze you if you stay there too long, right? If they have that grenade that you throw on the ground and it chases you like a snake that everybody has access to, sure, that can freeze you too. But just the hunter dodge plus the 2 ninja stars is not going to be enough to freeze you. You can look at it; they just don't give enough stacks because you need 100 stacks to freeze somebody, and the dodge plus the 2 ninja stars do not give enough stacks, mathematically speaking.
Who's playing as an icy hunter in PvP? Everybody's running around with the blades now.
Void,
the void blade. Yeah. That's all the hunters are doing.
But that's because we can't do anything else because everything that we do, we get nerfed, as we just demonstrated. But other people can freeze in one hit, like the warlock. They place a rift and instantly freeze people around him. How? What? All you did was place a rift.
Because that's a whole exotic you have to spec into to use. That's the one trick pony you get from it.
Yeah, well, we don't have an exotic that can even do that. We have an exotic that makes our Chinese stars more powerful, but you have to first freeze them and then hit them with a Chinese star, right? Or I keep saying Chinese star, the shuriken, right? So they have to be frozen, and once they're frozen, then you can hit them with a shuriken, and they'll shatter, and it'll send out shurikens away from them to hit other people and slow them, right? But the problem still exists that you have to freeze them to begin with. So yes, a grenade can do that, sure, right? But if you don't have a grenade, you're not really freezing people in PvP with a hunter.
I don't think you're freezing people in PvP unless you're running as a warlock with the turret anyway.
Well, you Titans get a lot of armor stacks, and when you get an armor stack, you heal from that.
I'm running around with stasis hunters or stasis titans.
Nobody is, because your super is ass.
I mean, still, just no one's running around with stasis titans ever. They're drunken toddlers.
But no, I mean that is a build that you could do, is just get those armor stacks, and those armor stacks also heal you in addition to just giving you like the damage reduction. So,
or you could just throw a wall down. There's easier ways.
And shoot people with a gun that brings down lightning bolts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All throwing knife melees. Thanks to player feedback, we've identified an issue that caused the hunter's throwing knife melee to track targets inconsistently. On top of that, we further improved the tracking of the lightweight knife and phantom knives to make them a more attractive option.
Nice.
So yeah, fixed an issue where the knives weren't tracking correctly. They should now track more consistently. Your lightweight knife, solar melee, increased the tracking shape by 10%, increased the tracking strength by 20%, and your phantom knives on both solar and prismatic, they've increased the tracking shape size by 15%, whatever those words mean. So yeah, your knife should now be knifeier.
The cone size, and whenever things are within that cone, how strongly the knife bends to hit somebody.
Perfect. Well, your knife should be more knifeier now, so go throw knives at people. After this update. Don't do it today, though. On the Prowl Void aspect, the assassinations now provide an instant bump of ability energy instead of doling it out over time. This makes eliminating a target more immediately satisfying. It makes for easier looping in PvE. So they've reduced your prey finding cooldown from 0.5 seconds to 0.1 second. And the ability energy is now granted instantly versus over time. So whatever you're now getting it as just one bucket of energy and not the trickle feed that never feels satisfying, really.
No, and that's already out, or is that we're waiting for that too?
This is all in the preview of the update that's coming.
I mean, at least it's coming, but too bad it's not already here.
Yeah. And your Warlock's Lightning Surge arc aspect, they're also slightly increasing the follow-up melee suppression after the Lightning Surge to match the Shoulder Charge and other similar abilities.
Nice.
And then we've got weapons. You'll never guess what weapons they're going to touch. I wonder what it could be. Could it be looking at high-skill lobbies since the most recent nerf to the 450 RPM pulse rifles? The Redrix S-Stock has fallen off in terms of effectiveness, while the usage remains high. It's generally in line with the Rose and aggressive hand cannons have been near their peaks, as shown in the charts below. We have a slightly higher usage, but lower overall effectiveness. In the middle and lower skill lobbies, Redrix S-Stock continues to be an issue. We believe the problem is twofold. Lack of competition from auto rifles, yes, because they outshoot all of us, and pulse rifles in terms of forgiving and mid-range options. and the legacy frame offering a slightly too much of a jack of all trades playstyle. So similarly, the solution's in two parts. They're going to reduce the ADS range of the legacy frame pulse rifles to match the damage fall off scale currently used for the high impact pulses, and buff a handful of other weapons, rapid fire pulses, high impact, and precision frame auto rifles and heavy burst hand cannons to basically provide more competition in that mid range engagement.
Stop buffing hand cannons, Bungie! Good lord!
Oh, but the hand cannons, they suffer so.
Right? That's what
only
uses it?
Only one hand cannon's good. The rest of them have to be good too.
Ooh.
So yeah, so basically the Battler, the S-Doc's the Redrix's S-Doc, ADS damage fall off scalar goes from 1.7 to 1.6, matching high impact pulses. And the Battler's airborne effectiveness stat, they're taking from 10 to 21. So they're increasing the airborne effectiveness of the Battler for reasons. And then they basically have a bunch of charts and graphs that show that the legacy PR-55 frame pulse rifle is way out of band at like 20% usage. Aggressive frame hand cannons are at like 14%. And then adaptive frame hand cannons and lightweight frame hand cannons are at 9%. And then the fanfire hand cannon all the way back here at 6% as an outlier. Then everything else on this chart is basically in the like 1 to 3.5% range. So, hey, everything's good over here except for these four hand cannon archetypes and the legacy PR-55 frame pulses that are just way overused because that's the best thing in the world right now. Kills over expected height.
That's because the Stoic, right? The Stoic is the reason for that?
Well, that and the Battler.
Okay.
It's less the S-Doc at this point and more just the Battler that also wasn't hit. And that chart's basically kills over expected. So in your high skill lobbies, it's basically the Battler's overperforming by 20% of like the number of kills you expect to see. It's overperforming by 20% of that, or all those percentages. And in your high skill lobbies, again, your hand cannon aggressive frames are overperforming by 18%, and lightweight frame hand cannons are at like 8%, and then your pulse rifle light frame pulse rifles are 6%. So again, just way out of band, and then same, basically hand cannons and those pulse rifles are overperforming, so they're going to hit them on the head with a nail and kind of bring them back in band a little bit. And when they talk about things being like in band, like these charts in the TWAB actually sort of give you a look of there's this clustering of weapons, these different weapon archetypes, like to the left of these, going, hey, these are all the usage. I'm guessing is our y-axis, the vertical axis, going, hey, how many people are using this overall versus like what everybody else is running around with, and then just how many kills you'd expect to see from that weapon type and how many they're actually seeing is the x-axis that goes left to right. So it's just like you see this big cluster of things, which is Bungie wants to do. They want things to be not all in a nice tidy vertical line, but not have a whole lot of difference left to right. And these things that are way out to the right hand side, away from all the other types of the things they're going, those are overperforming. We're gonna do things to bring them down and bring other things up. So then after this patch, something else will be way out there on the right side overperforming, and we'll all switch to that for the next some amount of time.
That's just the curse of an evolving game.
Mm-hmm. For rapid fires, they want to bring another pulse rifle family to compete with the lightweights in terms of forgiveness without buffing their optimal time to kill. And rapid frames were a prime candidate. So they're increasing the base damage 14.5 to 15, and increasing the precision damage from 27.6 to 27.8.
That's like Chattering Bone and stuff, right?
Yeah, well, just to say, I think it's basically all the ones we talked about earlier. Like
no, but the rapid fire ones, the ones that they want to make more viable.
Yeah, because Claws of the Wolf is a rapid fire. The Jorm's Claw is an adaptive frame.
Oh, is it? My bad. Chattering Bone, is that rapid fire? I'm pretty sure it is.
Chattering Bone is a lightweight.
Oh, really? But it fires so fast.
But it's lightweight. Lighter, so you can pull the trigger quicker.
I suppose so. So what's the RPM of a Chattering Bone versus these lightweights? These rapid fires that they're talking about.
Chattering Bone is 450, and the rapid fire gonna guess is the 540. Yeah, so like the Claw of the Wolf 540.
40. Okay.
Well, they're increasing the ADS fall off scalar from 1.5 to 1.6, and your adaptive judgment. Judgment will be returning with a holofoil treatment during Red of the Nine. They're taking the opportunity to adjust the stats to have it be more competitive.
So it looks like. Hold on, I'm trying to read this. I'm trying to understand it, right? Because hand cannons are already just so everywhere, right? So when it says they're adjusting the damage fall off scalar from 1.5 to 1.6, does that mean the damage fall off will happen quicker, or the damage fall off you can fire faster before the damage fall off happens? I'm trying to understand that.
I think where they're increasing the scalar, it's falling off quicker, so it's going to do a little. It'll have less range on the heavy bursts.
Good. Okay. Now do that with all of the rest of them, and I'll be happy.
And judgment is they're going to get 2 more bullets in the magazine, so you're going to have 11 in there now. Your reload goes from 40 to 55, and your handling goes from 42 to 55. So
wait, heavy burst is 2 shot, right?
It's the heavy burst.
Yeah,
2 or 3
shot.
or whatever it is.
It's 2 shot. Aggressive burst is 3. So I think that's 3. But yeah, no, heavy burst is 2 shot, just like the heavy burst pulse rifles, right? So having a mag size of 11 doesn't really track. Like, that's not a multiple of 2. Last I checked. Hold on, let me check my Palm Pilot. Okay, 11 divided by 2. No, that is not a whole number. No, it's not. So how are you going to give a gun with, every... Hold on, wait a minute. I might be thinking of this wrong. It doesn't use up 2 rounds of the mag, right? You fire 1 bullet, and that 1 bullet comes out as 2, or does it actually eat up 2 in your mag?
Let me help your thinking, because that's a different perk. That's a different change to a different weapon entirely. The heavy bursts are getting the scalar change. The judgment is getting the magazine increase.
Oh, okay. Isn't the judgment a 2 burst? I'm sorry, heavy burst?
I don't know. They're changing it, and I don't have one to look, so...
I'll check it out. Give me a second. I don't want to say dumb things again.
It's a hand cannon, so I don't have one of those in my vault.
It's an adaptive frame.
Oh, it's this one. Oh, it's the 9 hand cannon. Okay, my bad.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking of the wrong gun. I was thinking of the 2-round burst one that you get from the Nightfall.
That's Warden's Law.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. But clearly, I was wrong. My bad. Everything I just said is dumb.
That'll continue to shoot in an even number of bursts with an even number of bullets, whatever that even number is.
2. It's 2.
Now we can talk about pulse rifle or auto rifles.
I'll take over here. All right, so we have high impact auto rifles. High impact auto rifles have struggled to find their footing in PvP when facing weapons that do not require line of sight. When facing weapons that do not require line of sight. Do we have magic bullets? What gun does not require line of sight? So we've upped base damage to make them more forgiving to allow better interactions with smaller damage boosts in terms of reducing time to kill. They're increasing the base damage by 4%, and the body shot goes from 23 to 24 damage. Excuse me. And the critical hit goes from 41.4 damage to 43.2 damage. That's fine, but the real problem I have with the high impact auto rifles is their stability is awful. Like, it just goes just like all over the place, left, right, up, down. Up. I mean, they're just nutty how they jump. They're also touching precision frame auto rifles. The second is a partial reduction of the damage reduction given to them several seasons ago. Though this is focused on just body shot damage to increase forgiveness and does not bring in their critical hit damage back to where it was before that change. Okay, so you get more body shot damage, but they're not messing with the critical. Oh, they are messing with the critical, just not much. So increased base damage. Yeah, no. Increasing base damage by 3% and reducing the precision damage scalar slightly to offset this. So your body shot damage goes from 19.4 to 20. Woohoo! And your critical hit goes from 33.95 to, are you ready for this? 34.
Game
Woo-hoo!
changer.
Submachine guns are also getting changed, but only to the adaptive submachine gun frame. We wanted to give adaptive SMGs more of a unique role in CQB, meaning close quarters combat, sandbox, outside of their slightly increased forgiveness. And we believe the additional range will help to differentiate them and allow them to compete against other weapons more effectively. Cool. Is that submachine gun I was touting earlier an adaptive? Let's find out, because that would be awesome if they give that gun even more range. It is a precision. Biscuits. Okay, well, my favorite one, I'm going to give that change. Shotguns! Heavy burst slug. Wait a minute. There's a heavy burst shotgun. Heavy burst. Heavy burst. Where's the shotguns at? I apparently do not have a single heavy burst shot. Oh, yeah, I do right there. Arcane Embrace. It does fire 2 rounds out of a shotgun. And apparently I have a volt shot 4 times the charm roll of that. Don't even know what the hell that does. Alright, so apparently shotguns exist in the game where it's not just a slug, but it's a double firing slug, heavy burst slug. So what they're doing with that is they are increasing its damage because other slug shotguns hit harder. And they're doing that because the extra control needed for the shotgun is obviously it's firing twice instead of once, so you need more control. Anyway, they're increasing the damage by 8%. Now that is a big number to increase it by. Not 0.05%, but a whopping 8%.
I wonder if
That's
that's
good.
split between the 2 slugs or if it's just overall or how that's going to play out.
That's a good question, Peroty. Damn you.
Yeah. I mean, I have no idea because I remember. Don't we have an exotic shotgun that's? I don't know. I may be just missing.
No, I'm looking at all the 2-round bursts, and the only 2-round burst we currently have in the game looks like something called the Arcane Embrace. It's an arc. It was in the season of. I don't know what season it came out.
Is it a raid weapon or something? I mean, it's one I've never
No,
heard of.
it's not a raid
shotguns
weapon.
are also one I'm not really up on.
I don't think it's a raid weapon. Hold on. To obtain the Arcane Embrace shotgun in Destiny 2, you can either complete the introduction quest with Eva Levante during the Festival of the Lost. There you go. Or play Haunted Sectors to have it drop as a reward. Okay, there you go.
Okay, so it's a festival weapon.
Yeah.
Oh, right, that one. Okay. Now that I see
Yeah.
the picture, it looks familiar. I remember that gold shotgun.
I mean, I don't even remember doing those activities, and somehow I got one with Volt Shot and 4 times the charm, which don't help each other at all.
And you've held on to it because it's important.
I mean, it's the only one I have. So, I mean, if it becomes good, I want to have at least one, right? I guess.
I've got one with dual loader that feels fitting.
That drastically reduced reload speed. That's always great. The weapon perks. One quiet moment. This perk often run. What is one quiet moment weapon perk?
That's the one from Trials that I think when you're alone it does things. Hold on, let me find a.
I'm looking it up. Grants 20 handling, 40 reload speed, and 0.95 reload duration multiplier while out of combat. So when you're out of combat, it increases your handling and reload speed.
Right. Okay.
This can activate while it's stowed, and swords get a 25% increase to movement speed instead. Wow, you run faster with swords. Okay, yeah. So, for one quiet moment, being in combat is defined as having either dealt or received damage within the last 5 seconds.
Oh, that's.
I get the reload speed. Like, if you pop out of combat, you want to reload faster. Sure. Why grant extra handling if you're not in combat?
Why not? So you can switch weapons quicker to reload. Run away, reload all your weapons, and re-engage, or run away and reload your non-heavy weapons and re-engage.
See, I hear what you're saying. But like,
you've only got a little bit of time for
the reloading. I get the reloading part. right?
Mhm.
But the handling. Why do you need handling if you're not in combat? Handling is a very specifically while in combat type of perk. Okay, whatever. But that's what One Quiet Moment does. Regardless why they chose to do that, that's what it does. So the change that's happening to that, the perk runs out counter to expected behavior in the Crucible. So we have split the buff into 2 separate stacks and allowed the first to activate much more quickly. Now it has 2 stacks, one that activates after 1 second of being out of combat for 50% of the bonuses, and the other at 2 seconds.
Interesting.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, that just feels a lot more useful if you're doing it in PvP. I mean, who's got 5 seconds to not take damage?
Yeah, but more importantly, why split it? Like it runs counter to the expected behavior. So like in Crucible, you have to be out of combat for 2 seconds to get the reload bonus, right? Which arguably is what you want. Hold on. Oh, hey, Noble. How long have you been here?
After this
depends
change,
on when it
yeah,
comes on.
yeah, but
Been out of combat with a
I
sniper
mean, after the
rifle,
change, yeah, but like I said, out of combat, it's 5 seconds. So before you had to stand in a PvP match for 5 seconds out of combat to get this perk, which I would
Okay.
assume essentially makes it useless unless you're
no,
in
Wood Noble
trials
just
running
gave a
away or
good
something.
example. No, he just gave a good example. Let's say you have a sniper in PvP,
Mhm.
right? That handling bonus, I think, is going to let you sight in faster for better quickscoping.
Yeah.
So yeah, because
I
you
mean,
haven't
handling your
dealt
weapon.
damage and you haven't received damage, so you get that snappy sniper, and you just pop him, and then 2 seconds later you get the reload and you get the perk again. So okay, that tracks a little bit. I can see how that would play out. Sure, I got you. And alacrity. I'm gonna say
that's the trials one I was trying to think of. That's the one that, like, while you're the last one standing, it gives you a whole bunch of buffs.
okay. So, while incredibly strong when active, Alacrity has nearly 0 uptime in non-trials Crucible playlists. So we wanted to give it some additional utility. We believe this will make it one of the strongest origin perks for Crucible in the game and should help to better position weapons from Trials of Osiris alongside the competitive playlist offerings. Okay. It now activates at a reduced effectiveness whenever a teammate dies. Okay. Reaches maximum effectiveness when 2 or more teammates are currently dead. Okay.
Okay, nice. Yeah, because today it gives you. I mean, when you're the last, living member of your fire team, or if you're running solo, and solo, like for solo PVE activity, because if you're solo in PvP,
Right.
you're with a team, and because it specifically says it does not work in Rumble in the community note, it gives you 20 range, 20 stability, 50 reload speed, and 10 aim assist while you're the last guardian standing. So it buffs a ton of stuff. But yeah, unless you're running trials, you're never the last guardian standing.
But if you're not in trials now, with the change to it, if one person dies, it sounds like you get half that. So you get 10 range, 10 stability, 25 reload speed, and 5 aim assist, is what it sounds like. But if 2 members of your fire team are dead, then at that point you get 20 range, 20 stability, and 50 reload speed, and 10 aim assist. So that is going to be really strong, especially on hand cannons. Ew.
It's pretty strong on everything. I mean, it just gives you. It says, hey, it really is like the last man standing perk. Going, you're the last one standing. Let's buff a bunch of stuff. Let's see what happens.
That hurts my feelings. I wonder what weapons that rolls on. Ugh.
Trials weapons.
Any trials weapon.
Oh, very specifically trials weapons?
Yeah, that's a trials origin trait.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. Let me see if I have any of those. ALAs.
You don't.
I have some trials weapons.
Peroty,
I do. Yeah, right there. I have it on a pulse rifle. I have it on the messenger. I have it on the prophet. Didn't even know I had a prophet. It comes on the incisor trace rifle. That's cool. The
Peroty,
summoner.
From trials.
The first adept weapon I ever earned in trials was that Keen Thistle, a sniper. I'll never use a sniper in PvP.
That's the game's thing. Here
I've
you
got
go.
a trace rifle, please.
Nope. Yeah. There's a very specific weeks that I just skip trials on. Going. There's no reason to have a good version of this gun that I will never use. Yeah, no.
The Immortal.
This will be one of them.
The Immortals. A freaking
Yes.
Trials of Osiris. Oh no. Oh no!
Yeah.
The Immortal and the Shira's Wrath is going to come back more evil than ever. Ugh. Damn. It actually comes on the summoner though, which is kind of nice because I have some summoners that I use in PvP sometimes. So I like that.
Yeah, I mean, literally every Trials weapon. That was the origin trait on Trials weapons for the longest time. And still is. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Any Trials weapon you have is going to have that on it.
Oh, I get that. I was just seeing what I had. Exotic weapons updates. Ooh, exotic weapons are going to get touched. Lord of Wolves. Lord of Wolves has been an absolute beast within the realm of PvE for many months now. Both Atheon and Templar have been shaking in their proverbial booties whenever the Guardians readied their weapons for the DPS phases. However, while we found the Lord of Wolves was far outperforming where we wanted it to be, we've decided to let this ride for most of Heresy for a fun little, quote, meta time period. With the Rite of the Nine arriving soon, it's time to rein it in. No! How bad is it? Reduced hip fire damage in PvE by 30%.
That kills it.
God.
It's dead.
It's done. Yeah, no, it's done.
Stick a fork in it.
Oh, Risk Runner. Ooh, we ain't heard of the Risk Runner in a minute. Let's see what we got.
I was gonna say I ran a new light through the Risk Runner mission, but that was the only time I've seen Risk Runner in forever.
Right? Risk Runner has long been a low zoom outlier as far as SMGs go, so we wanted to bring it more in line with other options alongside the buff it will be getting to its range as a part of the adaptive SMG changes listed above. It's just getting a zoom increase from 13 to 14.
You can see a little better as I'm turning you into electrical goo.
But it also gets increased ADS damage fall off scaler from 1.4 to 1.5. So, love it. That's not much of a buff at all. The Truth, God, please let the Truth come back. It was such a fun rocket launcher. The Truth and the Two-Tailed Fox. Rocket launchers rarely compete in Crucible as a viable heavy option against LFR.
Linear fusion
rifle. Linear fusion rifle, yeah. And LMGs, but giving them more ammo from the crates is not a decision we will make lightly. To test the waters, we have selected 2 exotic rocket launchers that will get additional ammo from heavy crates in PvP. Yay! Increased amount of ammo picked up from ammo crates in Crucible from 1 to 2. And that's for the Truth and the Two-Tailed Fox. Now, the Truth, I'm really surprised that people don't use the Truth more often because it aggressively seeks, or at least it used to. I don't know if it still does.
Not like D1 aggressive. It's kind of...
Yeah, but forget even D1 aggressive. In D2, in Gambit, that was the go-to rocket launcher because people that were hiding behind structures, it not only does it have extremely aggressive tracking, but it also has hand grenades and horseshoes, which means if it's near an enemy, right? Even if it doesn't hit a wall or hit the enemy or anything, if it's just near them, it will detonate from a proximity explosion and still kill them if they're hiding behind cover, right? So it used to be a monster. And then, yes, even in D2 in Gambit, which is when I use it for the most part, that thing would track at like 90-degree angles. It was nuts, But yeah, I guess there's been a ton of nerfs because I never see it used ever anymore. So it'd be nice to see that to come back. And Two-Tailed Fox is what it is. You shoot 3 rockets now.
Would it be nice to see the Truth come back as someone who lived through that Truth meta? No.
Dude, it was awesome.
No,
it was amazing. Especially if you're the guy that's invading.
It
wasn't great for DPS. To be fair, it wasn't great for DPS. It was awful for DPS. But for the invader, it was beautiful.
That's not what you're using it for.
Yeah. What else do we got? And the Two-Tailed Fox now fires 3 rockets now, right? It shoots an arc, a void, and a solar, right?
If you have the catalyst, yes.
If you have the catalyst, yeah, okay. Other than that, it just shoots void, which suppresses, and solar, which burns,
warms
scorches.
to the touch.
Scorches, yeah. And then if you have the catalyst, it shoots arc, which also jolts. Does it jolt? Do you know? Let me check my collections real quick.
I believe so, yes.
I also believe so, but I don't want to give bad info again.
It will do all the verbs.
That's what I thought. Adds another rock. Yeah, it does jolt. Okay, yeah. So he's right. It does do all the verbs. Yeah, it also jolts. The only reason it stopped being used is the DSC rocket will kill multiple at opposite sides of the map while tracking just as aggressive. DSC, Deep Stone Crypt. The one that falls from the sky. The
As of tomorrow.
is it As of Tomorrow? Deep Stone Crypt.
I mean, that's the one that
It
falls
is.
from the
That is
sky.
As of Tomorrow. Yeah. You're right. It's As of Tomorrow. I thought he was referring to the one where you shoot it in the sky and the balls fall down. Deathbringer. I thought he was talking about the Deathbringer. No, yeah, you're right. It is Eyes of Tomorrow. Fair enough.
Deathbringer has never brought much death. Eyes of Tomorrow was a
Well, I've seen
Surge.
PvP mains use a Deathbringer to surgical precision. Whenever people are hiding, they shoot it above them and let it fall, and it just kills a ton of people. So if you're good with it, it's really good. But again, they use it on purpose and all the time, so they know its range and when it'll release it to make it fall and all that other stuff, right? So there's that. But I see what you're saying now. Moving on, we have the I don't know how to say that word. Alethanum? Something. Okay. Creating an ammo brick drained all of the weapon's energy, which prevented the player from creating 2 special ammo bricks when at 100% energy. We've adjusted the cost of the special ammo brick to 50% to allow the player to. This is that ice primary weapon grenade launcher.
Yeah, the terrible stasis grenade launcher.
Yeah, that one. Okay, so they're reducing the special ammo brick to 50%. That way you can build back up to the special brick faster, or you could pop 2 special bricks, or you can do 1 heavy brick. Reworded the vestigial alchemy trait description to be a little less confusing. Okay, well that's cool. 2 special bricks or 1 heavy. I like that. Finality's auger.
Still, no one's going to use it.
I mean, no, but still. We've added some quality of life changes that should make using this weapon an overall smoother experience. They've increased the duration that the target's painted to match the duration of the turret. The environmental target marker now marks additional targets that enter the zone after its initial creation, and it now grants an automatic reload from reserves after deploying a turret, and by doing that, it reduces the turret's self-damage by 85%. The turret has self-damage? And increases the turret's damage by 10%. So wait, this is the exotic heavy that you shoot in the air and it makes that solar turret, right?
Yeah, the one from Sunder Doctrine. Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So it grants an automatic reload from reserves after deploying a turret, so that's cool. Reduce the turret's self-damage by 85%. How does the turret shoot itself?
Couldn't tell you. Don't have the gun.
I wonder if that's actual self-damage, or if that means if you get caught in the blast, it doesn't hurt you that much, right? Like if you're going after an enemy and it shoots an enemy that you're also going after, do you get hit by that gun's damage? Maybe that's what that is. It reduces the damage it does to you. Maybe.
Possibly.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have it. I haven't got to use it. Maybe it does do self-damage, but either way, if it does do self-damage to you, it's now reduced by 85%. So you don't have to worry as much about getting killed by your own turret. Oh, the hunter nerfs, here they come. I don't even want to read this. Okay.
Armor updates.
Yeah, hunter first. I'll read the hunter, then I'll go cry while you guys do the other 2. Radiant Dance Machines.
Are we surprised with this novel?
What's that?
Are we surprised with the novel they've written about the Radiant Dance Machines?
I haven't read it yet, so I don't know. I do know Radiant Dance Machines has been oppressive because, when you kill somebody in PvP, you get a full charge of another dodge. And if you're using things like slowing dodges or dodges that leave the strand copy behind, it's problematic. But you still have to get that kill with a weapon first. I think it's a primary weapon at that first.
Boo-hoo.
So it's not like you just get it for free.
You have to kill someone in PvP to get the thing to work. Yeah.
Hey, for some people, that's hard. All right, shut up.
Get good, scrub. 1v1 yourself.
There'd be no improvement at the point. The goal of the Radiant Dance Machines rework was to introduce a new style of gameplay into PvP, centered around aggressive, close range play with primary weapons. So it is primary weapons. What I thought. While this has happened in practice, we have received a large amount of feedback that the playstyle itself is fun to use, because it is. We need to make sure that at its peak, it's still in band with other play styles that exist in high-end Crucible gameplay. Unfortunately, damn it, due to differences between the input devices, the current tuning for RDM continues to remain problematic. On mouse and keyboard, while being significantly less effective on controller, the last word excluded, which has been addressed to the tuning specifically below. The user's reflex... Oh, wait. Did it also buff primary weapons? Hold on. Let me look at my Radiant machines real quick.
I would say you're asking the wrong group of people.
Moderately increases airborne effectiveness and hip-fire mobility, range, and accuracy with weapons that use primary ammo. Yeah, that's what it was. Okay, yeah. So it increases the range, accuracy, and hip-fire mobility for weapons that use primary ammo. That's why it was so destructive with the last word. And final blows with primary ammo weapons return dodge energy, which can overflow to create additional charges when pulled. Yeah, okay, that's what it is. There we go. Okay. What was that? Okay, last word is excluded because it's already been addressed in the tuning specifically below. The usage reflects this. With RDM seeing a 45% higher usage on mouse and keyboard, it already benefits from having significantly higher aim assist, accuracy, and stability while hip firing than other controllers do. Than the controller does. And stacking those benefits with the ones from RDM is allowing some weapons to perform outside of their intended bounds. Yeah, because it's an exotic. You're building into that. Whatever. Long term, we want to investigate moving the two inputs to be more equal in terms of hip firing efficiency at base. But for now, we're going to significantly reduce the benefits granted by RDMs. We believe these values will still allow players to engage in hip-fire combat, albeit a more limited range and window with additional investments needed in the form of perks or mods to achieve similar levels of strength. In addition, so that hunters don't have all the hip-firing fun, we're going to grant the hip-fire range and accuracy benefits for primary weapons post-reduction to an exotic on each Warlock and Titan, which will be discussed below. But I don't want them to have it. Reduce the bonuses to primary weapons when hip firing. Lame. Aligned the hip fire bonuses to range and accuracy with the values granted by the hip fire grip perk. Lame. And instead of the legacy frame intrinsic perk. Oh, that is instead of the legacy frame intrinsic perk. Okay. They've also reduced the accuracy bonus for standard weapons by 60%. Super lame. Reduced the aim assist fall off distance bonus by 60%, mega lame, and further reduce the accuracy bonus for the custom-tuned exotic weapons, including the last word, by an additional 25%. That's cancerous lame. As a note, based on the feedback we have received from mouse and keyboard players using the last word with RDMs, we are looking into tuning the specific penalties for that input device down a bit in the future patch to make the weapon more usable without requiring an exotic. Although the dodge uptime is already lower on Radiant Dance machines than it is with some other Hunter exotics, we want to reduce the class ability refund benefit just a bit in PvP to make it less of a focal point of the exotic. Reduce the amount of energy refunded for the defeats against players when you do not have full class ability energy from 33% to 20% to align it with the upper tier of the strategist perk. It's not life-changingly awful, that last debuff, but all the other debuffs, reduction, reduced accuracy by 60%, reduced aim assist by 60%. Just, oh, God. Dude, they didn't just kill it. They kill it. They dragged it in the street for public execution. They drawn and quartered it. They lit it on fire. They threw it off a cliff and then drowned it on top of that. That is merciless. That is crazy, crazy.
I feel like we should have a funeral for it.
Was that?
I said I feel like we should have a funeral for it.
I mean, there's nothing left to put in. It'd be a closed coffin. Closed casket, I mean. There's... that's rough. That is extremely rough. Now, let's see if the Titans got anything negative done. Peroty?
No. Moving on. The lion. I mean, not no, but also no. Lion Rampart has long been a niche exotic, and since it already dealt with hipfire effectiveness, we thought it would be a great candidate for this buff. For a second buff, we're also allowing the airborne effectiveness bonus provided by the exotic to be active even when ADS, so it is no longer limited to hipfiring while airborne. So they've added the accuracy and range hipfire bonuses from RDM to the Lion Rampart for primary weapons only. Primary ammo weapons only. These hipfire benefits are always active, not just when airborne, so that's a plus 50 airborne effectiveness bonus, which is now always active, not just when firing for the hip when airborne. Note the description will be updated to reflect the new functionality at a future patch.
Wait, the Lion's Ramparts, that's the one where you can fly forever like a warlock, right?
The jump gents, yeah.
Oh. So now we have 2 floating turrets in the sky. That's awesome. Warlocks and Titans are just going to be hovering above everybody, raining death from above. That's awesome.
Oh, I'm going to use these in PvP, don't worry about it.
I mean, we'll see.
I mean, no.
Is
Is there someone out there? Certainly. Is this going to turn into a meta that's going to take over things? Absolutely not.
Warlock, what's going on with your stuff?
Well, I'll be honest, Lunafaction boots, I can't remember the last time I put those on, but they're saying they see similarly low usage in Crucible, which is true. And yeah, what they're calling out is the long range slug precision shotgun or fusion rifle kills. That's really the only time I've ever seen it used. So Lunafaction boots, if you don't remember, if you cast your rift, it gives increases weapon reload speeds, and empowering rift gives you your weapons longer effective range. So what are they doing? They're adding the accuracy and range hipfire bonus from RDMs to Lunafaction boots for primary ammo weapons only. These hipfire benefits are always active, not just when in a rift. And decrease the range bonus granted by empowering rift by 50% in PvP only to reduce occurrences of extremely long-range kill. That's what it was fun for. Extremely long-range kills, short-range weapons like fusions and slug shotguns. I mean, that's the whole
Didn't
purpose.
you just say you never saw anybody use it? Now you're like, that's what it's fun for.
No, I mean, it's been a long time, but that was what it was used for in the Warlock community, was to, basically map somebody with a precision shotgun. And this description will be updated to reflect the new functionality in a future patch.
Lovely.
I love how they're saying, hey, we're giving your classes these things. We're not going to tell you in the game that we're doing this, so you just get to find out, if you read the TWAB or just by guessing. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they just spent a lot of time tuning an exotic that I don't think a lot of us Warlocks actually use. So, okay, thanks, Bungie.
Yeah,
well, I think they're doing it to make it more desirable for y'all,
Right?
Because even though you don't use it for the long range stuff, it now helps you with hipfire primary weapons all the time.
Yeah, but if you're a Warlock who's hipfiring, you're doing it wrong.
I mean, I don't doubt that. I'd see Warlocks hipfire from the sky all the damn time. Psychopaths.
Yeah,
Yeah, it basically seems like we made RDMs really good. Now we need to make them less good. Let's give the other 2 classes something. So let's just assign it to random stuff that you weren't doing anyway. Because, yeah, it just feels like a really weird change. Like, I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense on the Lion Ramparts because that's something where you're jumping in the sky anyway. I don't quite get it on the Lunafaction boots, but sure.
But the thing that I also don't understand is I don't know the exact numbers on paper, right? So I'm leading with that. I don't know the numbers on paper. But they're nerfing the hell out of Radiant Dance Machines and giving all of that bonus that we had to somebody else. So it's making ours significantly worse, making somebody else's significantly better. So it just, I mean,
is that?
I mean, it's increasing your hipfire accuracy by 50% while reducing mine by 60%. So, yeah?
Yeah, but if you're using I don't know, like, no, it just seems, you're not wrong, but it's also like, who's going to be running these things in a place where that matters? Like, no one's bringing Lion Ramparts into PvP except for, that one guy, because there's always one guy somewhere. Ditto Lunafaction boots. Like, there's a Lunafaction boot main somewhere, but the rest of the world's going, yeah, if I'm running it, it's not for this. It just feels, I don't know, it just feels like a really weird, like, yeah, we have to do this, so we'll give somebody something. It just, I don't know, it seems like a real weird change.
I mean, I'm not a Titan, so I don't know how the Lion Ramparts work, but I'm pretty sure it increases the time you can stay airborne, right? So if it increases the time you stay airborne, while also giving you better in-air accuracy, while also giving you better hip fire accuracy at all times, I mean, it just kind of sounds like they're making the Titans into Teemo Warlocks or Teemu Warlocks. You know what I'm saying? Like, they want you guys floating in the air and becoming actual AC-130s. I can just imagine a Titan in the air with Lion Ramparts and the infinitely shooting auto rifle. The hell is that called?
Yeah, but like, you have to keep hitting the ramparts. Like it's like you're not floofing like warlocks. Yeah, I mean, it provides additional aerial maneuverability and enables accurate hip fire while you're in the air during lift. Provides large benefit to airborne effectiveness stats in hip firing on the Lion Ramparts. Like you're still having to hit those jets. Like, it's not. I don't know. Again, like, it makes sense for them to add this perk to it. I just don't see. I don't think anyone's out here going, "Oh man, this will be the day. As soon as this patch goes live, I'm gonna start running PvP with Lion Ramparts instead." It just, I don't know. It just feels like a really weird.
Keep you in the air longer, but
Yeah,
I've seen raid skips where you have to have the Titans with the Ramparts to clear like a chasm.
Well, yes, I mean when paired with the sword or something, yes, but like just the Ramparts, like, it's not the Warlock thing. You're not flying across large expanses. Like you're not jumping on the moon across the giant cavern with the Ramparts. You can pair the Rampart with sword swipes and stuff like that for movement, but you're not just like hovering above things to do damage with the Ramparts. It literally is just like just an additional jump, an additional thrust, kind of in that direction, and it doesn't give you a lot of height. I don't think even. So again, I mean, it's not a.
I mean,
it's sort of like, hey, we have to give something this buff. This was the thing that made sense, but I just don't think it's gonna matter at all.
Why do they have to give the other people a 50% buff just because they were nerfing the hunter stuff? That's another thing that doesn't make any sense.
They wanted to. I mean, they were like, yeah, here, we'll spread this love around. Why? I don't know. Like, was anyone asking for this?
What do you mean spread the love? They took away my love.
To the people who got things. It's not all about you all the time. I'm saying, they were like, we wanted to do this and give the other classes. I mean, I don't hip fire. I mean, period, full stop. I'm not running around with the hip firing hand cannon. Like, I can think of very few weapons that I'm hip firing, especially
an auto rifle, could be pulse rifles.
Still, though, like, I'm not running around hip firing most of these weapons, especially not in PvP. So I'm like, fine, give me airborne effectiveness. Guess what? I'm also not doing shooting in the air. I'm shooting on the ground. Like, this is just such a non. Like, again, I can imagine the player that this would make sense to, as a warlock or a titan, kind of, but like, not really. Like, I just don't see. I just don't see how this is going to change anything for anyone except for the hunters. It's basically, we wanted to touch the hunter stuff, so here Titans and Warlock have a update that kind of makes this thing different.
Yeah,
I don't know.
You can take what we took from the hunters. Is what it sounds like to me.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, again, yeah. I mean, why are they giving it to the? Why are they adding it to the other exotics? I don't know. Just to give those classes something with kind of the same stat, the same effectiveness.
I don't know. Use submachine gun boots, right? I forgot what they're called. The ones that
Peacekeepers, yeah.
Peacekeepers, yeah. Submachine gun shenanigans. Do they increase hip fire accuracy for submachine guns?
I don't think so. I think it's just reload. I'd have to double check, but
yeah,
I think it's literally just just the reload stuff.
Because I know Micah heavily uses the Peacekeepers because he likes a lot of submachine gun shenanigans. So my question is this: if Titans are already using submachine guns, and they're out there, I've seen a lot of Peacekeeper Titans. Whenever I do play, obviously I don't play that often, but when I do, there's Peacekeeper Titans that just mow me down with Shira's Wrath and the Immortal, and more the Wrath of the Immortal nowadays. But
Yes. It does passively grant 40 airborne effectiveness, 50 handling, and 0.8 times reload and stow duration to submachine guns.
but no hipfire accuracy. Okay, cool. So
Yeah, just the
for
airborne
those
effectiveness.
submachine
It
gun
looks
loving
like.
titans out there, like Micah, for example, that might be something for them, because even if they're not going to be flooping through the air, which is one of my scariest thoughts, they still get plus 50% accuracy on hip firing for all primary weapons, and submachine guns are primary. So that just sounds like it's going to make, like, especially those submachine gun buffs we saw earlier coming out, right? They're already going to get like some range bonuses for the Trials of Osiris, right? So you're going to get a plus 20 range with plus 50% hip fire accuracy. Damn! It sounds like that's going to be really good for Titans in that next patch. I mean, that's a little scary. I know you said you don't see a bunch of Titans using it, but I mean, it'd be silly not to try that with all that extra range and hip fire accuracy on submachine guns, bruh.
Yeah, I mean, but it's 1, submachine guns, and 2, that's the exotic you're running with, and you're giving up all your other exotics.
What exotics would you use anyway in PvP? Genuinely asking for Titans.
Syntheseps, ACDC feedbacks,
Oh.
Heart of Inmost Light, anything, honestly. Like, it's peacekeepers. I mean, again, jumping in the air and hip firing is not something I would ever think about doing in PvP. Again, and I am not, again, we know I'm not a great PvP player. Yeah, I mean, I'm saying it's not something I see. It's not a play style I've played against, at least on the console. I mean, again, I could see maybe Warlocks doing it. I mean, Hunters, obviously, to some degree, but yeah, I mean, I'm not saying nobody will do it. I just don't see this as being. I don't feel like we're going to be having this conversation in 6 months or 3 months, and Bungie going,
I hope not.
Yeah, man, those Titans jumping in the air with the Lion Rampart's a real problem. Like, I just don't see it.
All right, fair enough.
While you guys have been discussing, I've been reading an order that was entered yesterday by the judge in Martineau v. Bungie. This is the guy who claimed he came up with the Red War and didn't go Bungie's way.
And they what? They did who?
Did not go Bungie's way. The judge
Interesting.
dismissed the motion to dismiss, or denied the motion to dismiss, and basically told Bungie, you can't submit YouTube videos and Destinypedia articles. You have to actually submit your work.
Oh, they didn't actually submit that stuff, did they?
Yes, they did, because they said they couldn't provide the Red War campaign.
Oh, that's nuts.
Clips of gameplay. She was not happy with him.
Yes, you can, Bungie. You've got it on a server somewhere. Now, come on. That's just lazy. That's you asking for. Like, what do you mean we can't provide you this thing we made? You made it.
We can give you YouTube videos of us playing it.
Can you drop a link? Can you drop a link to that just for us to throw in the
show
notes?
I'll put it in.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Like, I've been sort of half watching that whole thing play out, just going, why now? Why here? Why? But that's really interesting.
I'm dropping a link to the court order.
Great, thank you. Yeah, that's wild.
But Judge, I have YouTube videos.
To have the gall to be like, yeah, I know we made this, and this is. Well, Judge, see, it's not in the game; it's in the vault, so we can't possibly provide any of this information for you. It's in the vault. And where is the vault? Oh, it's in Bungie headquarters. And who are you? Oh, we're Bungie. You see how this doesn't work out there, guys? Like, what?
She did find that as a matter of law that he's got enough to allege a copyright infringement, so it's gonna at least move to summary judgment. So I don't know.
Wild.
And I wonder if it's only the money they made during the Red War that would be eligible, because I mean, that's some big dollar signs if he wins. Wow. Well, all of Marathon's profits are going to go to that guy for the first 6 months.
He amended the complaint to also include Curse of Osiris, which I thought was a little bit of trying to take too much money off the table. But it'll be interesting to see.
I mean, if it's true, it's true. If it's true, he deserves it. right? Regardless if it's too much. If he genuinely made that stuff, then he deserves it. And yeah, for sure.
Well, and it's not like Bungie doesn't have a history of taking community generated stuff like that artwork on the Nerf Ace of Spades and
what?
you know.
They would never.
Yeah, don't you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember. I was messing with you.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, there's been a couple of things, and I think there's been some. Well, I know there's been a handful of armor pieces and emblems and stuff they've had to rework the artwork for various reasons. But I think some of that was also like, hey, this piece of art looks suspiciously similar to this person's piece of art that you have used in your game, uncredited. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. We'll throw that in the show notes if you are also just curious about, how that's going and that's still happening.
I will have to say, dating a lawyer for 5 years allowed me to read it.
So if you also need to date a lawyer for 5 years, you too can go find a lawyer.
You can meet one at our Patreon.
Yeah, if you too would like to date a lawyer for 5 years, you too can get some tips from Renard in our Patreon. Patreon.com/TTH.
Where to find them, where to dump them, where to not get sued by them. Yeah, there you go.
Don't date a lawyer. You never win.
The only one he move is not to play.
We do, however, for your knowledge, have 3 new rewards coming, guys, for 8.2.6, if you didn't know.
But are they any good?
We'll find out. Let's see. As you know very well by now, we are reprising the Prophecies, Spire of the Watcher, and Ghosts of the Deep weapon sets with new perks. Dun, dun, dun. Additional traits and renewed look. And a renewed look that includes a hollow foil version for those of you with the soul of a crow.
Huh. What does that mean?
I don't know. Are they talking about Crow the Hunter, or are they talking about Crow like you like shiny bits?
Hunters. Always hunters.
We do think you'll love the weapons and their perks, so we won't be talking about these here today. Discovering by yourselves what they have to offer will make them a bit more special. That said, we wanted to give you a little tease of what's to come. So how about the reveal of the additional weapons coming to Iron Banner, Trials of Osiris, and to Nightfalls? Now, that being said, I don't have anything wrong against Crow specifically, right? Aldrin did a bad. Crow came back. Crow was absolutely punished for what Aldrin did. I mean, he was killed multiple times over it. He was beaten to death. The man went through it. Okay? So, I think he's paid for his crimes. That being said, I hate the fact that he's the Hunter Vanguard, and I extremely hate the fact that he's got a man bun. Just no. Alright, so Iron Banner. Everybody's favorite but mine. Nature Reclaimed Solar Lightweight Scout Rifle. In the column 3, it gets Killing Wind, Outlaw. What's a lightweight scout rifle? Let's give the people details on this. Lightweight scout rifles. What RPM is that? Okay. Oh, so we're on the Night Watch, Patron of Lost Causes, Traxipos kind of frame. Okay. 200 RPMs, rapid fire, that kind of thing. All right, cool. So it is a lightweight scout rifle. It's solar. You get Killing Wind, Outlaw. That's going to be fun. Heel Clip, super fun. Lone Wolf, Rapid Hit, and Shoot to Loot. Very cool. Column 4, Desperate Measures. Heel Clip, so Kill Heal combo right there. Incandescent in Heel Clip. That's a good combo. Precision Instrument, Box Breathing, and Explosive Payload. Always good on any weapon. For the Trials of Osiris, we get the Inquisitor. It's an Arc Precision Slug Shotgun made by Suros. I don't know why they had to specify that.
All the time 1v1ing.
Was that?
My kid killed me with that 1v1ing all the time.
The Inquisitor?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It's a slug. And it for some reason they specify Suros Foundry, even though they didn't tell us what the Nature Reclaimed Foundry was. But okay. Column 3. Envious Assassin, Lone Wolf, Offhand Strike, Loose Change, Perpetual Motion, Slide Shot. I think that's what you want on a PvP shotgun, right? A slide shot. It reloads when you slide or increases range or something. I forgot the difference between Slideways and Slide Shot, but I think Slide Shot's a PvP shotgun roll. Threat Detector, and that's it for column 3. And then you have Bait and Switch. Why? Closing Time, I think that's a good one. Cascade Point, Fragile Focus, Jolting feedback. Isn't that the one where more shots on target creates a lightning bolt? Isn't it that one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Or
Opening
or
shot
jolts.
and
I
precision.
can't remember which.
Okay, so it looks like I think slide shot, opening shot, which is probably the best roll for that. I have no idea. I'm guessing. I think those are the ones people look for on shotguns. Origin traits. Oh, I'm sorry. That Iron Banner one, obviously, it's going to have the origin trait of Iron Banner. I skipped that. My bad. The Trials of
still
Osiris
think-
shotgun I just mentioned. Its origin traits are going to be the Trials, the Crucible, and the Suros origin traits. You get 3 origin traits on that gun?
Apparently.
That's crazy. And then for the Nightfall weapon, you get something called Cruel Mercy. It is an arc heavy burst pulse rifle, so 2-shot pulse rifle, of the Amalon Foundry. And then in column 3, you get Dragonfly. Very nice. Demolitionist, Eddy Current. 4th time's a charm, also very nice. Keep Away and Lone Wolf. Ooh, so it's going to be a PvP one. Okay. And in column 4, you get Jolting Feedback, also very nice. Adrenaline Junkie, Head Seeker, Frenzy, Kill Clip, and Desperado. I'm not quite sure what to get from that last one for PvP. I would guess Head Seeker, but at the same time, Head Seeker is good for other pulse rifles because pulse rifles tend to ride up, right? But this is a 2-round burst pulse, so it's not a whole lot of riding up on a 2-round burst. So I don't know how I feel about the Head Seeker. Somebody that knows more, educate me. And then its origin traits are Nightfall origin trait, the Vanguard origin trait, and the Amalon origin trait. So there you go. Now getting into details, the Nature Reclaimed will be first available starting May 20th when Iron Banner returns. You can it's an Iron Banner gun. They said that, didn't they? They did.
They sure did.
And I read it twice. And you can get it at the end of the match. You can get it as an end of the match reward from Ingrams. Once you have earned it for the first time, you can focus it at Saladin in the tower like every other Iron Banner weapon. Yeah, okay. For the Inquisitor and the Cruel Mercy, we are trying something a little bit different for the duration of the Rite of the Nine and until the Edge of Fate. While both will be available at their respective vendors, they will also drop as additional rewards when you finish a Trials match or a Nightfall activity. That also includes their Adept counterparts. Very nice. Trials of Osiris will be back on May 13th for the first time after the update 826 is live. So winning on a 4-win streak can get you the future reward, Aisha's Care, which is going to be Adept, but also the extra Inquisitor Adept to go with it. Oh! You're going to get double Adepts for a 4-win streak? Same thing in Grandmaster Nightfalls. Oh, very nice. For every Lotus Eater Adept you get the week of May 6th, you will also get a Cruel Mercy Adept. Have fun with extra loot. That is kind of cool. I like that. I like that a lot. I wonder if there's probably not in Light GG yet. But anyway.
More loot to chase, never a bad thing.
Celebrate. Oh, God, I don't know how to say this word. Oh, that's not a word. Oh, it's an acronym. Okay, I see. Okay, so
Yeah, so you can scroll down.
Oh yeah. Well, I didn't know if that was like an actual word, but celebrate
Nope.
AANHPI Heritage Month with us, and that stands for Asian American Native Hawaiian Pacific Islander Heritage Month. That is a mouthful. The Asians at Bungie Inclusion, Diversity, and Equity Association is celebrating the occasion with the Harmonic Waves emblem. Cool emblem. I dig it. We're excited to support international community health services and nonprofit healthcare organizations based in Seattle, Washington, and a leading voice in challenging anti-Asian hate. I agree. There should be no hate. There should be no Asian hate, no black hate, no Indian hate, no white hate, no nothing. There should be no hate based on race. Full stop. Stupid. In honor of AANHPI Heritage Month, everyone that makes a $10 donation through the Bungie Foundation will earn the Harmonic Waves emblem for Destiny 2. There you go. All net proceeds will go to ICHS. I don't know enough about taxes to know the difference between net and non-net proceeds go, but If it's a lot of money, do it. If it's not, I don't know. Whatever. I don't know what that means. Oh, it's right there. Minus Tiltify and payment processing fees. Okay, so after those processing fees come out, everything else goes to ICHS. It looks like. Cool.
Yeah. Basically, once they pay for running the promotion, the rest, everything they actually make from it, will go there.
Cool. I like that.
Now we have the list of things that we've told you about many, many times. Guess what, guys?
Is it the same?
Everything that's still broken is still broken. Everything that's going to get fixed is still hopefully going to get fixed. If for some reason you're just here for the first time, then you may not know that the Sunless Self Grandmaster is still not in the Fireteam Finder. It's in other friend finders, but not that one. Sometimes the bosses don't spawn on the Court of Blades, leading to a soft lock. When you're speaking to a vendor, you already know you can hear their ambient dialogue as well. You pour warlocks with your Ionic Sentry. Sometimes it doesn't chain lightning, but sometimes it does, I've heard. Don't do the Drowning Labyrinth quest, because some players can't get past step 6 and 9 due to the account scoped versus character scoped version of it. TLDR, if you're doing on multiple characters, get your character on the lowest step up to the highest step, and it should hopefully work for you. Sometimes in the Derealized Exotic Mission, the Taken Relic can drop below the surface of the risk encounter, but sometimes it cannot. When you're doing the Shrieker bosses in the Sundered Doctrine, you're thinking, yeah, I'm doing crit damage, look at all the crit damage I'm doing. No, you're not. It's all regular base damage. When you're tracking Ikora's Drowning Labyrinth quest, remember that one we just talked about? Completion of certain steps may stop progress on the next steps. Which ones? Certain ones. Sometimes, the Tomb of Wanta Primer quest does not progress after meeting steps 3 and 4 requirements, but sometimes it does. Your memento shaders, you can still preview them on armor. This is unintended, and there's still no plan to make them work on armor. But you can look pretty, take screenshots, and hope for the future. Your Seeking Filaments and Spirit of the Filaments can't grant Devour while the Fast Protection's equipped. And finally, my favorite one, every week, the Honor of Hercules. Ornament right boot is angled incorrectly, so the leather strap does not fit the boot. Which is what tells me that they're just copying and pasting this list every week and not even looking at it. Because otherwise, why would you tell me about the leather strap not fitting the boot every single week? I find it enjoyable, but I don't feel like that's super important, guys.
Clearly,
the Secant Filaments and Spirit of the Filaments, that's a new one, isn't it? Was that on last week's?
Nope. That has been there.
Has it?
I won't say every single week that this list has been available, but for the last half dozen, probably.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's not new. You know,
Look
still
at
doesn't
the
work.
Aham Kara puppy. What is wrong with these people?
Because even as a dragon, still can't be a dragon. It has to be a doggo. Puppies only. So yeah, artwork of your Amankara puppy, and then we have the Manda Guardian, your Manda Guardian Destiny 2 Star Wars crossover event winner.
I still like Gardalorian better.
There you go. Yeah, and there's a reveal coming in May 6th. That's less than 5 days away as they put this out. As you're hearing this, it could be very, very soon. So listen to it, get your emblem, or don't.
It's going to be about feet. That's what I'm taking from that teaser trailer.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't everything ultimately about feet in the end? I mean, our universe just is surrounded by feet. We are feet.
Just knowing this community, I have to imagine that was some serious trolling of us.
We're being edged by feet. The Destiny 2 story.
There's a guy that his name is Roanoke Gaming, and I've mentioned on the show before, but I don't know if Nitedemon ever edits it out. But he's a microbiologist, right? That plays video games and watches TV on YouTube and kind of gets into the science about how everything works. And there's a running joke for people in his community because whenever he starts getting into the biology of how vampires exist, werewolves, monsters, zombies, whatever, right? How they can actually exist. He always starts at the feet and works his way up, right? So now there's a community thing talking about how he's just obsessed with feet because every time he starts, he goes, so starting with the feet, we look at that it's plantigrade structure and blah blah blah, blah, right? But the way he says it, and the way you just said it's all about feet, it's funny. Go watch Roanoke Gaming. He's good. He's funny.
Legitimately, I don't ever remember you ever mentioning this person. Until
Yeah,
now.
this is the first time I'm hearing of him.
I mean, literally, I don't think I've ever heard you mention this person.
Really? Oh man, I tell everybody about him. I'm surprised. He's amazingly funny.
Apparently, we're not everybody.
I guess.
I don't know.
I'm sorry, guys.
I mean, it's fine. I was just like, I don't think I've ever heard you mention this person. Not once.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Especially if you just like finding out weird facts. Like he goes into like actually how these things could be possible, and not a lot of these diseases, but more than what should be associated with these diseases. Apparently, it's possible through a disease we already have, rabies. Because rabies is one of the few things that can cross the blood-brain barrier, and if it ever gets mutated or changed or gain a function, rabies can do some wicked things to humans, dude. But yeah, just if you get a chance, look at him. He's funny. He's very smart, and the way he breaks down video games and movies and things like that is just it's top tier. That's all I'm saying.
So it's rabies and not tuberculosis? Because I heard everything is tuberculosis.
For him, everything is rabies. And like I said, he's a microbiologist. So when he gets into the science of how rabies works and how it affects you, it's evil. That and prions. I never heard of prions until this. And prions is the most evil thing that can happen to somebody. Full stop. And I'm like, now that I know that exists, I've unlocked a new fear. Thanks for that. So
just a misfolded protein. What could possibly go wrong?
Everything. I mean, the Wicked Witch of the West type scenario. You know,
we're just all made up of science versions of ones and zeros. I mean, it's all fine. What could go wrong?
Yeah. All right.
I mean, loads could go wrong because that's the end of the TWAB. We did it. We got to the end. We told the people things. We talked about the good stuff.
We didn't get to the end because we have yet to mention our.
Well, not the end, but toward the end, near the end.
The end where we get to mention our Patreon.
Yeah, some of those people.
Yeah. You want to say your own name since you're on here for once with however many R's you deem necessary, sir?
Ooh. I can't be threatened with a good time, and I'm Renard Palant.
That's not nearly enough R's.
No, I mean it's raised to the 12th last time I saw.
How about Renard Palant?
Better.
Enough? Okay.
Can't
it's your name, right? Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, everyone cares. I mean, you can't shortchange yourself extra R's. You've earned each and every one of those R's.
I can't troll them as well as Nitedemon.
He can't troll his R's at all. Not troll, trill. He can't trill his R's at all. Stop encouraging him because he does that on his streams too. If you watch his streams, he tries to roll R's when he says words that start with an R, and it's maddening.
Continue, Nitedemon. Always and forever. Also, the pirate voice. Everyone's a huge fan of the pirate voice.
I'm a huge fan of blah 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 blah.
Blah blah blah. Everyone's a huge fan.
We definitely need merch with a hoodie with Nidedemon's Titan saying blah blah blah.
Absolutely, merch that says blah 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 with his face on it.
There we go. Well, I don't think we're ever getting his face, but maybe his in-game face.
And whatever.
But we all getting Nitedemon and lovely guardians, our lovely Patreons that have gone to patreon.com/TTH. Renard Palant, who has already been threatened with a good time, and Zep Orbit, also threatened with a good time. Our Otter Dance Troop, blah 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 blah. The Scarlet KM and the Dedicated Wham 64. Our grenade throwers, our lovely grenade throwers, is Mr. Blah 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 himself, Noble. Mr. Blah Blah Blah, Golden God 1562, Fire Squad 1688, the man Conan from Texas, and Farrell. And finally, the last blah 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 we have is Gravy Jeff. Of Deacon's Day 1 Raid Team, we appreciate each and every one of you lovely human beings, especially Renard, who is available, who is there, who said, I can't be threatened with a good time, and I like to not be threatened with a good time in person. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for hanging out today. Have you watched any lovely videos from the internet? Respawn, same for you. Have you watched any lovely videos from the internet?
I did. I watched the cheese for the chess thing from both Cheese Forever and the guy that actually originally showed it to me. but did not really do a great job of explaining it. So sorry, I'm not going to shout you out because I had to look at another video because you just kind of left me hanging. But yeah, definitely watch the cheese video for the chests, how to unlock it, just using 4 pieces that you can get in what's her face's apartment. Right, you don't have to go looking all over the place. Legit in her apartment, right then and there. Do it. Jump to the activity. Set up the chessboard twice. You get your equipment. Bing, bang, boom. I was done in less than 10 minutes.
And where's this chessboard that you find?
So when you go into her throne world, right? You from where you enter the portal, you go past her and off the cliff and look behind you. You can go underneath the platform that you're standing on. There's a doorway. And in that doorway, there's a table with a chessboard. If you interact with the chessboard, it takes you into this activity. Now, if you've gotten all 4 pieces out of Eris's apartment, you can go to the map. You can look at the after you've gone to the chessboard. Right? You can then open up your map. There's an activity inside when you go to the not the Junior City. The hell? When you go to the last city, right? And you see all the last city nodes and whatnot. If you look directly north of the Nether node, you'll see something called Unknown Antechamber. And once you click on that, you can actually select what would be difficulties there. If you see the word middle game, you've got all 4 pieces that you need. And you just lay out the board like Cheese Forever tells you. And then once you do that, you go back in to that activity. But this time, instead of middle game, you go to the end game. And once you set the end game, you set up a more complicated chessboard that way. And then as soon as you put that last piece in and you go to the top and you say, this is my answer, submit my answer, assuming you've done it right, the chess pieces will remain. That's how you know you did it right. If you messed up, they'll disappear. But the chess pieces will remain, and there's going to be green fire lit. And on the far end of where you're standing, you're going to see the chest. And there's a pool above the chest that you have to interact with to see the cutscene we mentioned earlier. So, yeah, it's super easy, super fast, and you'll get a Taken Shader and a bunch of other cool stuff just by doing that.
Perfect.
I watched a lot of 360 game TV videos this week for the chess pieces and the Nether secrets, so I could get the Heretic title. And as Peroty really seemed to like to just annoy my father, but I've watched a lot of their videos. They put together some good stuff for guides.
Yeah. 360 game TV is phenomenal. Also in the I want just the facts. The esoteric style, cheese style. I'm going to give you no fluff, no hey, what's up guys? I'm going to talk for 45 minutes before this. Here's just what you need to know. Yeah.
I like the fact
game
they're
TV,
silent.
phenomenal.
They just show you. Yeah, they're silent and they just show you where to go.
Yep. Do this, go here, read the captions on the screen versus having someone talk at you for an hour. Yeah, they're great. So yeah, I think they're one of the channels I think that's basically in our show notes all the time, and if not, it's on twotitansandhunter.com as all the things we look at and tell you to go to every week. I'm going to throw in, because I watched a number of lore things this week. I watched Fallout's video on how to solve this whole community chest thing as it was going on. So I mean, honestly, pick your favorite creator. Everybody has one. I think we had Abontes had one last week. Everybody who's in and around Destiny has their own version of a guide. Pick your favorite to watch and go forward with that. My name is Bife. If you're sitting here going, why are you talking about chess on a Destiny podcast? My name is Bife. Put together the Destiny 2 lore, the Edge of Fate ARG Explained, the 9, Ion, and the chess ARG. It's 52 minutes and 14 seconds, so not Deacon approved, but if you want to put that on the background or just it is not a whole lot to look at. It's just mostly he shows you the chessboard and shows you things, but you can mostly listen to it podcast style. If you're just confused, going, what are you talking about and why? That's your one-stop shop for that.
You can also watch Astacross. Astacross has build battles, which shows 2 different builds from 2 different classes that kind of do the same thing. Like they're both really good PvP or really good PvE builds, and like a Hunter versus Warlock or Warlock versus Titan, things like that. Which build is better, kind of thing. You like builds, Mactics and Plunder the Booty are the go-tos if you're looking to find a build for a thing.
Yep, all things in the show notes. Also through the Ice Shield Maiden put together the everything we know about Frontiers so far. So if you're sitting here going, I know there's stuff coming, there's a whole bunch of stuff they've talked about as changes. She sort of breaks down just the overview of what's coming, what we know about it so far, which hopefully maybe we'll see some more teases in this Edge of Fate event we're getting on Tuesday. threw in a video of the firefight. I found, I don't know if it was the Destiny Fun Police video, but a Destiny Fun Police video from a bit ago about the fully crafted auto rifle that just got buffed, and it's nasty now. No, it just got buffed a while back, but that was his firefight crafted video that's running the same loadout I'm running. This one's from 6 months ago, so Dean will look at me and go, this isn't new, but that's basically the role I'm running, and he goes over why he likes it. And then, 360 game TV videos we'll throw in there, the court ruling, the cheese chess puzzle, skip, cheese, easy taken shader, and then also Psalm Lab also put out a Destiny 2 lore Emissary of the Nine teaser. What did she uncover? If you just have some more questions about what's going on and where we're maybe headed. And then one build video from Daltonix, the best Warlock build. You need to be using an Iron Banner, which is the Void build that I was using a similar build earlier this week and swapped it around some of the mods to this one, and I don't know, had a little more success with it, so throw that in there as well. And that's all I've got.
You played as a Warlock this week in Iron Banner?
Yeah.
Oh.
I mostly PvP as a Warlock.
I didn't know that. Every time I've seen you PvP, it's always been a Titan.
Yeah, I tend to. I mean, I was doing Trials as a Titan just because I figure if I'm going to do that, I'll be the character I'm most familiar with. And sometimes I don't know. I always think, oh, maybe I'll do better this way. No, it doesn't really matter. It's all going to go bad. No, I really like. I don't know. I like the Warlock build. I like the buddies. Because I'm not good. So and any amount of help I can get, all the better.
The one buddy that I find is not super helpful in PvP is Hellion. I don't know why. He just seems to not bring it.
What is that one? Is that the solar?
That's a solar buddy.
Yeah, he's more useful in threes. I was definitely running when I was playing Trials with Demon last week before, whenever that was. We definitely ran into some folks running Hellion, and I think when you can have like those like 1-on-1 engagements or 2-on-1 engagements, I think that's where it shines. But yeah, I think in sixes, Hellion can kind of maybe help you out, but it's definitely not quite as effective. I agree. Yeah, but my I've been running around with my Child of the Old Gods going, you go over there, you distract them, let's see what we can do.
I love my arc buddy.
I want my arc buddy to be good, but I think I'm always running into groups of people, so it just doesn't feel like it's ever doing as much as he could. It's not his fault, though. It's my fault.
Is Child of the Old Gods the Void one that hangs out and takes my life and gives it to you?
Yes.
I hate that one.
It hangs out, and then I just stand around the corner giggling as I see the 11 tick damage go down, going, maybe you won't notice. Maybe I'll get an easy kill because you won't see it. One can dream.
And then it gives it to you, right? For every 11 it takes from him, it gives to you?
Something like that.
Wow, I don't actually know, to be honest. I mean, I know it takes it from you, which is all I'm really concerned about. I honestly hadn't ever paid attention if it actually gives it to me or not. I'm just doing damage. That's all I'm here for. I just want to hurt you. Not you specifically, but just you, the person on the other team.
No, I think it's me specifically.
Any amount of tick damage I can get, all the better. And I think that's probably enough tick damage for this week. So, thank you for joining us. Your Titan is me, Peroty. Your Hunter is No One Responds in Real Life.
Hi.
And your Warlock is Renard Calant.
Yo.
You should find this show wherever you find your podcasts. But really, just go to YouTube. We have everything up there, all the build videos, or not build videos. We don't do build videos. We tell you about other people's build videos. We go there and we tell you what to buy from Eververse, how you can dress up and look pretty. Our best guess is, get your bingo cards out on what Crucible mode will be up next week. There's no way to tell. If you've got thoughts, email the show, 2titanshunter@hotmail.com. 2titanshunter.com just gets you all the links, all the show notes, all the things we've talked about. Everything we talk about on the show, it lives up there for this episode, the last episode. If you're like, hey, I'm 6 weeks behind and I'm listening to those episodes, those show notes are all there too. It's beautiful. It's perfect. If you want to be one of our lovely patrons, patreon.com/TTH, and you too could be threatened with a good time, like Renard Calant, who enjoys a good threatening. If you like more of a casual threatening, coffee.com/2titanshunter. And if you want to watch this train wreck live, twitch.tv/No One Responds in Real Life when he streams. And if nothing else, join the Discord, link in the show notes, and you too can harass No One Responds in Real Life about his streaming, or Demon about his Trials Tuesday playing. Will he be playing Trials on Tuesday? Not this week.
Or merch.
But maybe next week. So until next merch, we'll talk to you guys next merch, and then we'll merch again then. Say goodbye to the people.
Goodbye.
Deuces.
Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast.
I was on mute the whole time. I was going merch, and I was muted the whole freaking time.
And no one.
And
will ever
I'm
know.
now server
Nope.
banned by Demon.
No, you're not. We never ban people over things
No.
like that. We ban people that say hunters suck.
Hunters don't suck. They have their place.